I just wanna go this hot and cute. Mic check like 1 and 2. My checks like whoa, damn dude. My skill just grows, bamboo. You thought I drove, man flew. That I got weed, that's a gram zoo. You know I brought the team and the fan too. Pull up on the scene, it's a damn zoo. I put a beat on and jam like I can't shoot. Can do. Anything you want, I can do. Nothing that I can't prove. Anything you want, I can do. Can do, can do. They try to tell me what it is not. While they're living in the system getting pissed off. Cause I'm doing something that they only dreamed of. Elon and my shuttle that'll lift off. I'm just trying to stay in shape like tip top. I don't have time to waste like TikTok. Y'all going OD with a shit talk. Well, I'm going overseas to the Vistas. Pre-game to the party getting kicked off. Shorty hanging by my side like a wristwatch. Told her that I'm up next, just watch. Another call from my ex, get blocked. Trying to see the whole globe taking pit stops. This kind of tour doesn't end up in the gift shop. My flow open up doors like a pick lock. Now you want a bandwagon for a quick spot? No can do. Anything you want, I can do. Nothing that I can't prove. Anything you want, I can do. Can do. I'm so done listening. Y'all feeding me lines like fishermen. I just don't give a shit. I've been spitting rhymes 8 years and I started on strong, so I might as well finish it. I've been spreading light like filaments. Words turn to life like images. Mind's eye open up the infinite. I'm never giving in. Might choke you up like a mouthful of cinnamon. If you ever knew everything I've been through, it was OTT, never singing the blues. Every penny that I put in, I know I'm a recoup. I've been building up the movement, let me rally the troops. Man, I always had it in me, I just needed the proof. All the love that I've been getting got me seeing the truth. Just a little bit of time and it's absolute. If you really want to make it off an attitude, then it's can do. Anything you want, I can do. Nothing that I can't prove. Anything you want, I can do. Can do, can do. Anything you want, I can do. Nothing that I can't prove. Anything you want, I can do. Can do, can do. They try to tell me what I can, what I can't do. Looking at them like I don't understand you. You never really know what life's gonna hand you. So I'ma do anything that I get the chance to. I keep it cooking like the pots and the pans do. Trying to make a few bops you can dance to. I be tight up on that ass like a pantsuit. I just wanna go this hot and cute. Mic check like 1 and 2. My checks like whoa, damn dude. My skill just grows, bamboo. You thought I drove, man flew. That I got weed, that's a gram zoo. You know I brought the team and the fan too. Pull up on the scene, it's a damn zoo. I put a beat on and jam like I can't shoot. Can do. Anything you want, I can do. Nothing that I can't prove. Anything you want, I can do. Can do, can do. They try to tell me what it is not. While they're living in the system getting pissed off. Cause I'm doing something that they only dreamed of. Elon and my shuttle that'll lift off. I'm just trying to stay in shape like tip top. I don't have time to waste like TikTok. Y'all going OD with a shit talk. Well, I'm going overseas to the Vistas. Pre-game to the party getting kicked off. Shorty hanging by my side like a wristwatch. Told her that I'm up next, just watch. Another call from my ex, get blocked. Trying to see the whole globe taking pit stops. This kind of tour doesn't end up in the gift shop. My flow open up doors like a pick lock. Now you want a bandwagon for a quick spot? No can do. Anything you want, I can do. Nothing that I can't prove. Anything you want, I can do. Can do, can do. I'm so done done listening. Y'all feeding me lines like fishermen. I just don't give a shit. I've been spitting rhymes 8 years and I started off strong, so I might as well finish it. I've been spreading light like filaments. Words turn to life like images. Mind's eye open up the infinite. I'm never giving in. Might choke you up like a mouthful of cinnamon. If you ever knew everything I've been through, it was OTD, never singing the blues. Every penny that I put in, I know I'ma recoup. I've been building up the movement, let me rally the troops. Man, I always had it in me, I just needed the proof. All the love that I've been getting got me seeing the truth. Just a little bit of time and it's absolute. If you really wanna make it up an attitude, then it's can do. Anything you want, I can do. Nothing that I can't prove. Anything you want, I can do. Can do, can do. Anything you want, I can do. Nothing that I can't prove. Anything you want, I can do. Can do, can do. They try to tell me what I can, what I can't do. Looking at them like I don't understand you. You never really know what life's gonna hand you. So I'ma do anything that I get the chance to. I keep it cooking like the pots and the pans do. Trying to make a few bops you can dance to. I be tight up on that ass like a pantsuit. I just wanna go this hot and cute. Mic check like 1 and 2. My checks like whoa, damn dude. My skill just grows, bamboo. You thought I drove, man flew. That I got weed, that's a grand zoo. You know I brought the team and the fan too. Pull up on the scene, it's a dance zoo. I put a beat on and jam like I can't shoot. Can do. Anything you want, I can do. Nothing that I can't prove. Anything you want, I can do. Can do, can do. They're trying to tell me what it is not. While they're living in the system getting pissed off. Cause I'm doing something that they only dreamed of. Elon and my shuttle that'll lift off. I'm just trying to stay in shape like tip top. I don't have time to waste like TikTok. Y'all going OD with a shit talk. While I'm going overseas to the Vistas. Pre-game to the party getting kicked off. Shorty hanging by my side like a wristwatch. Told her that I'm up next, just watch. Another call from my ex, get blocked. Trying to see the whole globe taking pit stops. This kind of tour doesn't end up in the gift shop. My flow opened up doors like a pick lock. Now you want a bandwagon for a quick spot? No can do. Anything you want, I can do. Nothing that I can't prove. Anything you want, I can do. Can do, can do. I'm so done listening. Y'all feeding me lines like fishermen. I just don't give a shit. I've been spitting rhymes 8 years and I started off strong, so I might as well finish it. I've been spreading light like filaments. Words turn to life like images. Mind's eye open up the infinite. I'm never giving in. Might choke you up like a mouthful of cinnamon. If you ever knew everything I've been through, it was OTD, never singing the blues. Every penny that I put in, I know I'ma recoup. I've been building up the movement, let me rally the troops. Man, I always had it in me, I just needed the proof. All the love that I've been getting got me seeing the truth. Just a little bit of time and it's absolute. If you really wanna make it up an attitude, then it's can do. Anything you want, I can do. Nothing that I can't prove. Anything you want, I can do. Can do, can do. Anything you want, I can do. Nothing that I can't prove. Anything you want, I can do. Can do, can do. They try to tell me what I can, what I can't do. Looking at them like I don't understand you. You never really know what life's gonna hand you. So I'ma do anything that I get the chance to. I keep it cooking like the pots and the pans do. Trying to make a few bops you can dance to. I be tight up on that ass like a pantsuit. I just wanna go this hot and cute. Mic check like 1 and 2. My checks like, whoa, damn dude, my skill just grows. Bamboo, you thought I drove, man flew. Bet I got weed, that's a grand zoo. You know I brought the team and the fan too. Pull up on the scene, it's a dance zoo. I put a beat on and jam like I can't shoot. Can do anything you want, I can do. Nothing that I can't prove. Anything you want, I can do. Can do, can do. They try to tell me what it is not. While they're living in the system getting pissed off. Cause I'm doing something that they only dreamed of. Elon and my shuttle that'll lift off. I'm just trying to stay in shape like tip top. I don't have time to waste like TikTok. Y'all going OD with a shit talk. Well, I'm going overseas for the vistas. Pre-game to the party getting kicked off. Shorty hanging by my side like a wristwatch. Told her that I'm up next, just watch. Another call from my ex, get blocked. Trying to see the whole globe taking pit stops. This kind of tour doesn't end up in the gift shop. My flow open up doors like a big block. Now you want a bandwagon for a quick spot? No can do. Anything you want, I can do. Nothing that I can't prove. Anything you want, I can do. Can do, can do. I'm so done listening. Y'all feeding me lines like fishermen. I just don't give a shit. I've been spitting rhymes 8 years and I started on strong, so I might as well finish it. I've been spreading light like filaments. Words turn to life like images. Mind's eye open up the infinite. I'm never giving in. Might choke you up like a mouthful of cinnamon. If you ever knew everything I've been through, it was OTD, never singing the blues. Every penny that I put in, I know I'm a recruit. I've been building up the movement, let me rally the troops. Man, I always had it in me, I just needed the proof. All the love that I've been getting got me seeing the truth. Just a little bit of time and it's absolute. If you really want to make it off an attitude, then it's can do. Anything you want, I can do. Nothing that I can't prove. Anything you want, I can do. Can do, can do. Anything you want, I can do. Nothing that I can't prove. Anything you want, I can do. Can do, can do. They try to tell me what I can, what I can't do. Looking at them like I don't understand you. You never really know what life's gonna hand you. So I'ma do anything that I get the chance to. I keep it cooking like the pots and the pans do. Trying to make a few bops you can dance to. I be tight up on that ass like a pantsuit. I just wanna go this hot and cute. Mic check like 1 and 2. My checks like, whoa, damn dude, my skill just grows. Bamboo, you thought I drove, man flew. That I got weed, that's a grand zoo. You know I brought the team and the fan too. Pull up on the scene, it's a dance zoo. I put a beat on and jam like I can't shoot. Can do. Anything you want, I can do. Nothing that I can't prove. Anything you want, I can do. Can do, can do. They try to tell me what it is not. While they're living in the system getting pissed off. Cause I'm doing something that they only dreamed of. Elon and my shuttle that'll lift off. I'm just trying to stay in shape like tip top. I don't have time to waste like TikTok. Y'all going OD with a shit talk. Well, I'm going overseas for the vistas. Pre-game to the party getting kicked off. Shorty hanging by my side like a wristwatch. Told her that I'm up next, just watch. Another call from my ex, get blocked. Trying to see the whole globe taking pit stops. This kind of tour doesn't end up in the gift shop. My flow open up doors like a big block. Now you want a bandwagon for a quick spot? No can do. Anything you want, I can do. Nothing that I can't prove. Anything you want, I can do. Can do, can do. I'm so done listening. Y'all feeding me lines like fisherman, I just don't give a shit. I've been spitting rhymes 8 years and I started on strong, so I might as well finish it. I've been spreading light like filaments, words turn to life like images. Mind's eye, open up the infinite, I'm never giving in. Might choke you up like a mouthful of cinnamon. If you ever knew everything I've been through, it was OTD, never singing the blues. Every penny that I put in, I know I'm a recoup. I've been building up the movement, let me rally the troops. Man, I always had it in me, I just needed the proof. All the love that I've been getting got me seeing the truth. Just a little bit of time and it's absolute. If you really want to make it off an attitude, then it's can do. Anything you want, I can do. Nothing that I can't prove. Anything you want, I can do. Can do, can do. Anything you want, I can do. Nothing that I can't prove. Anything you want, I can do. Can do, can do. They try to tell me what I can, what I can't do. Looking at them like I don't understand you. You never really know what life's gonna hand you. So I'ma do anything that I get the chance to. I keep it cooking like the pots and the pans do. Trying to make a few bops you can dance to. I be tight up on that ass like a pantsuit. I just wanna go this hot and cute. Mic check like 1 and 2. My check's like, whoa, damn dude. My skill just grows, bamboo. You thought I drove, man flew. That I got weed, that's a gram zoo. You know I brought the team and the fan too. Pull up on the scene, it's a dance zoo. I put a beat on and jam like I can't shoot. Can do.
What is good, guys? All right, we are about to get started. Let me just adjust the music. I don't want the music playing too loud. So obviously, you guys, I mean, I know everyone's here for. You guys are here for some good content. Obviously, with this is just the coaching tiers that it's really going to be about me. I just need to fix my camera. I don't know why my camera just blurred out, but let me fix my camera real quick, guys. But again, like I said, for this content, this is like, you know, some people might think it's controversial content, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I just think it's entertaining. Also, obviously, guys, I want you guys to see my new gear that I got. Obviously, you guys can see that I got a new hat and all that stuff. I got this, and I got a bag and all this stuff. But that's all the gear. I just wanted to show you guys that real quick. But again, you know, we're about to get started. Tonight with me, I only have a few people. A lot of people chickened out of this content. Tonight with me, I do have Harris. So let me actually unmute them so they can hear me. Let me make sure that they can hear you guys. Let me transition over real quick to here so that you guys can see the full board of everything. Tonight with me, I do have a few guys. Obviously, I have Ramo. I have Harris. I don't know if Walnut is going to show up. Walnut said he wanted to come, but it didn't show up. Brad had something come up, and a couple other guys chickened out. But hey, it is what it is. That's the beauty of it all. But again, like I said, so we're going to be doing a tiers list. Let me get the actual visual up for you guys so you can see what it looks like. Let me get the actual thing up for you guys. So, obviously, you know, you guys are, I mean, you know, I have Harris and I have Ramo with me. Harris and Ramo are going to be as honest as possible, but mostly I'm going to give my 100% opinion on who I think is going to be where. But we're going to get right into it. Obviously, Harris is going to be running polls for me too, so you guys can be involved with this. You know, again, like I said, we're going to probably get right started with Jeff Terrell. I kind of want to first hear from, you know, everyone in the chat. I personally think Jeff Terrell is automatically S. I don't think anyone else on this is going to be S. I mean, the guy was part of Team USA. Is there anyone that, like, Harris or Ramo that you guys think could even, like, touch Coach Terrell right now?
We have 3 tiers. Sorry.
So.
Yeah.
Well, kind of. I mean, the only thing against Jeff is that he hasn't won the big title yet. So, you know, a couple coaches the last 2 years who have won titles, but at the end of the day, I don't really think you're going to get much better as a in-game coach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I mean, the guy, if he wins a title, then it's just it's it's easy to say. But again, I think it's simple enough. I don't even think we even need to run a poll for that one. I think most people are going to agree that is S tier for him. But again, like I said, I think that it's just automatic. He was part of Team USA. He's actually one of the most winningest coaches ever in NBA 2K League history. Obviously, there are still a couple people ahead of him, but I'm pretty sure Sixers are third all time. I actually want to pull that up real quick because I have the stats for that. I know Harris is an analytics guy, but I just want to check real quick. But again, through the years, the Sixers have always been a top team. It makes sense. I mean, they're third all time in win percentage. Their tournament record is third all time. Obviously, Gen G, I mean, they're second, but whatever. Sixers are technically second. But again, Jeff Terrell's automatic is going to be probably S tier no matter what. But again, we're going to go. The way we're going to do this is we're going to go from left to right. We're going to start with LT from Mavs Gaming. In my opinion, I think LT is. I mean, he's gotten the playoffs 2 times. He in a way, like, obviously he had to help rebuild Mavs Gaming. Obviously, I know a lot of people think that Dimes has all the control there, but I think LT has done a good job. And now he's even made some off-season transactions this year, bringing in, Jerry, and he brought in Zay Bucks. I think that, in my opinion, I think that he belongs in the tier 1. Maybe I'm putting him high, but I think that for a guy that, a lot of people, talk about Dimes and how, it might not be easy to coach him. I have not yet to see a real issue for LT there. So I think LT is tier 1. I don't think there's anyone like what are your guys' thoughts? Do you think that he's like a tier 1 or do you think he's a tier 2?
How many people you guys plan on putting in tier 1?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm going to keep him in tier 1 for now. I just think that it makes sense to keep him there for now. Just because I like, for me, I want to limit it. So the way that we're going to do it, guys, for everyone in the chat, I want to make it to where basically we can only have like 5 at most in tier 1, and then like I think maybe tier 2, just depending on how it goes. But we're going to keep moving along. So the next coach that we jump to is Insanity. Insanity, I'm not really sure. I feel like I haven't gotten to see much of him. Obviously, the Lakers had a bad year last year. I know that, Ramo is a former teammate of Insanity. Like, I don't really know how well of a coach he is. Like, I mean, unless, like, there's something that you guys might know or some type of knowledge that you have of him.
Guess we'll find out this season because the talent that he had last year wasn't really a good group of guys that mix well with each other, so it's kind of hard to think. Plus, under the circumstances they were dealing with, the connection, the hotel issues, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he deserves the benefit of the doubt. I will happily give Insanity one more year before we say if he's a good coach or a bad coach. I mean, there's probably I honestly couldn't name you a city in America I'd want to be in less during a pandemic than Los Angeles, just because it's a city that's built to be explored and to be outside, and he has all these new kids and new guys coming into the league, and they can't do any team bonding activities. They can't go to their normal facility or whatever, and all they're just locked in these freaking hotel rooms. So
honestly,
happy to give him another year.
Honestly, as of right now, I don't think he's done anything to prove that he is in the higher tier. For now, I'm going to keep him in the tier 3. That's just my opinion. It's not that he's a bad coach, but he hasn't done anything to prove that he's either a tier 1 or 2. So he has not had a winning season or anything yet. I mean, he can obviously work his way up, but as of right now, I'm putting Insanity in tier 3. I think that's right for him for now. Just my honest opinion about it. Obviously, Harris, I know I'm just going to run the poll real quick just to see where everyone stands on that. Let me just run that. I'll run it real quick. It's fine. Sanity. But yeah, again.
So is Terrell the only S tier coach you have? Are you doing the Harris model?
Yes, only one S tier. There's no 5 S tiers. There's one S tier coach. I believe that at the end of the day, like Jeff Terrell, I mean, I look at all the other coaches, like obviously all the other coaches have their strengths. Obviously, I mean, you look at it, like Pete Cross has a championship, Rudy has a championship. I mean, it's, you know, you look at guys like that, and it's kind of hard to put certain people over them. But in my opinion, for the full picture, Jeff Terrell has been a great I mean, he's drafted great. I mean, people have talked about it. I've seen him in the studio, the way he can, you know, construct a team. And how, you know, he, like, the way he handles his group, he's done a very good job. Obviously, you know, with the success of ZDS, some people, you know, obviously ZDS is a good player, but I also think that ZDS thrived because of Jeff Terrell. And, I mean, a lot of people have said it, too. Like, you know, Jeff Terrell's knowledge of not only 2K, but basketball is something that I think puts him above a lot of these coaches, in my opinion. So I just don't think that there's any coach that is, you know, right there with him, and in my opinion, at this point, like if we're talking about like the closest person, and like I said, I don't know everything about the Kings guard locker room, but in my opinion, like another person that like, and I'm just gonna do this person now, you know, I'm gonna put DJ Layton in tier 1 because I think I know like I don't know his overall picture as like a coach when it comes to like overall like his experience, like, you know, what he, like the way he communicates with his players. But when we talk about asset management, like I know that he's been a big part of it. And overall, like, I mean, he's never missed playoffs when he's been a coach. I'm pretty sure he was signed as a coach in season 2. Am I correct on that? So, I mean, I'm definitely putting DJ Layton in that tier 1 with LT. And I think that, like, when I think about it, I think DJ is like call me crazy, I think DJ, out of all the coaches in the 2K League, is like one of the closest to Jeff Terrell. Like I said, I think what accelerates Jeff Terrell is his basketball background, his knowledge. But again, it's not all about knowing basketball to be a good coach in the 2K League. Like it's more than that. But again, I like DJ there. I'm gonna run another poll real quick just because I want to see where everyone stands on DJ. I think everyone's going to say tier 1 for DJ, but
from the end of season 2 until now, nobody in the league has made better trades. He has been, without a question, the best trader in the league. He has been able to secure just the names of the guys he's been able to trade for is insane. He made a trade to get Dat Boy shots on the Hawks. He made a trade to be able to move up. You know, it was the same trade he got shots and he got crushed just from trading BP. And then he moves on to this offseason. He picks up Mama, I'm Dat Man, and is now probably sitting with maybe the best, you know, 4-player core maybe in the entire league. So DJ is amazing.
Yeah. Again, you know, I think though no one really talks about DJ. Like, that's the thing. Like, you know, I feel like when we're talking about like all the top coaches, like DJ kind of gets brushed under the rug, in my opinion, compared to most coaches. Like, he does not get talked about at all.
He's also had to deal with a lot of personalities on that team the past couple of years and been able to focus them into one direction as a team, especially defensively.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. The next person I'm going to work with is Wes. Wes, and like we kind of talked about this already. Wes is I'll give it to Wes. You know, out of most people, he uses his assets. He's not scared to be aggressive. Overall, I mean, you know, they did make playoffs last year. I don't know if I put him in that same category yet as like a tier 1, and maybe it's just because he's had one season. But again, I mean, you know, he has a plan. Maybe, you know, I don't know. I don't really like his current roster, but again, you know, they could go in this draft and they could absolutely kill it. But as of right now, I put Wes in tier 2. I think that he's just a tier 2 coach. I think that, you know, one thing that begs for question, and obviously I know the situation with Type, you know, you had a lot of problems there, but, you know, you wonder, you know, did Snubby request a trade? Because I heard some rumors of Snubby requesting a trade too, so it kind of makes me question his relations with his players and whether or not, like, it's an environment that all players can be comfortable with. And that can be an issue for any organization, you know, having players. But again, I think as of right now, you know, Wes is a good coach. You know, he's a good coach. He's not afraid to tell a player, you know, what it is. He's not afraid to lay down the law with players, which I respect. But as of right now, I'd put him as a tier 2 coach, in my opinion. I'm going to run a poll for that one.
I think he's tier 1.
You think he's tier 1?
Yeah.
So, how many? Like again, like I said, like, you think so? If like as of right now, out of all the tier 1 coaches, you think he's like he would be? Do you think he'd be above the 2 tier 1 coaches I already have?
I feel like they're on the same even playing field. I don't know. Stuff I heard about Big West culture-wise, like he has structure,
Mm-hmm.
and he's not afraid to tell kids what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's an actual coach, not just in the 2K League, but before the 2K League. So like
he just has legitimate
values
values as a human being that he abides by, which is important.
Yeah, I mean,
he knows how to get the best out of his players. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, I definitely agree. I'll keep him. I'm gonna keep him at 2 for now. Depending on who I move into, like the tier 1, I'll maybe move West up. I do like I said, very valid points. I like West a lot. I think he's like right there between that 1 and 2 range. I don't think like he's near the top of the tier 1. I think he's kind of like he's there, but he's not like at the tippy top in my opinion. But again, he overall good coach. I mean, he made playoffs, and him using all his assets and not being afraid to be aggressive. I mean, kudos to him, man. The next person is Shane. Shane's not really a coach. Obviously, I've seen him suit up. He's been there. But again, when I look at him, I look at him more as like the GM role and management. And overall, I'll be honest with you, he's a guy that, overall, like, I mean, he's made some great acquisitions and made some great moves. And I mean, I don't know if I feel like it's a lot of Shane. Some people like to say some players like can steer decisions, but I feel like Shane does not drive his decisions off any players. And he's actually, done a very good job over the years. It's really tough to like where I want to put him because it's like he's not even just a coach. Like he's just overall like a man, like a game. Like I don't even know where I rank him.
He is probably the most unique manager in the league in terms of the stuff he does for that team.
All right,
obviously, what's up, Walnut? Obviously, it's not
good?
Even like the in-game coaching stuff. It's more of just like how he manages that team and keeps everybody on the same page. Like he drafted that team so well, he didn't even need to hire a coach. But he still does help with like game planning and stuff. Like he's a big stats guy. He surrounds himself with smart people. But this is no offense to the other coaches in the league. Like I'll be honest, like I think Shane might be the smartest guy in the entire league, just in terms of his all around skill set and like what he brings to the table as a manager. He's really good at what he does. He's a very, very, very talented manager.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, Shane has done a great job. Like, I mean, I don't think any players have had a problem with Shane either. Like, Shane has had, like, that's a big thing for me. Like, I think most players wouldn't mind playing under Shane. Like, that's a big thing in my opinion. Like that's a big question you have to ask yourself. Like, will anyone go up there and play? Like, obviously, I know we had the situation with OneWildWalnut, and the reason is because he didn't want to be there. But I really don't know where I want to rank Shane because, like I said, I don't want to have I feel like he should be in that 1 range, but at the same time, it's like I don't know. I feel like there's so many people. Like
I don't know how you have a GM or coach list without him being one personally.
And also, like, on top of that, like, I know he's not the one responsible for, like, exactly the content, but he has some responsibility. If he's pumping out content and making it a priority, they have the best content, I think, in the league as far as consistency to the leagues, like, to the years with, like, the little sitcom stuff, the graphics, all that. Obviously, that's people at the actual organization have hired, but he's still the head guy that's responsible for it. So I think that plays into it. Obviously, the team success as well, but it's tough because, like, it's tough judging these coaches and putting them on a list compared to players because there's so much behind the scenes that you don't know. Only players that have played for these coaches or managers will know, like, how much of an impact they have or not, or if it's just the players, if they make the players better.
Appreciate the sub, Fire 6, man. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
He's also not a coach, so like
Yeah,
Frank's his tier 1 GM, tier 2 coach, and it's like Shane will even tell you himself like he's not the coach of that team. So
I mean,
he's a tier 1 GM to me. I don't know what
like I said, I don't even know if I can put him on the list because he's a GM. You know what I mean? Like, that's a thing. Like, and that's a tough thing though. Like, obviously they had 1 through 5 at one point there. Being a coach, and then I feel like Shane kind of took over that role. This past year, and I mean the team was 16-0. So I mean, obviously, Walnut, you come from a team that didn't have a coach, and then you experience having a coach. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
what was the difference? Like, what would you say was the difference versus like a player-driven team versus a team where you were ran by a coach?
Well, the biggest thing we wanted when we got a coach was we didn't expect COVID obviously to hit, and so the biggest thing we wanted a coach to like help us mainly and most importantly in the studio, like to help calm us down or like see things that we might not be seeing in like in a hell game or like in a close game or maybe not call a timeout, but like, hey, we should call a timeout because like so much responsibility fell on us as players, and we put that on ourselves not having a coach, and we were pretty successful, but it was mainly we wanted a coach that would come in and while we're fired up yelling, like to come in, calm us down or whatever, see something that, the game plan. But I mean, even with COVID in season 3, Coach Skeezus, I mean, he just helps, he helps see, because he's not, it's just different between each coach. Like some coaches never play 2K or rarely, some do. Skeezus has played, and now he's one of the guys in the, like as far as a coach or GM that actually played 2K, so he kind of had a little bit of knowledge there. And the more he watches scrim, he could get the league play and the league build kind of like realization, because it's different from the park and what he was used to before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's a very good point. I mean, and that's the thing too. Like it's hard. Again, it is hard to judge coaches because we don't see everything behind closed doors. But anyway, the next coach we're going to go to is Wes from Hawks Talon. In my opinion, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think he's a tier 3 coach. I mean, like I said, I don't know all his responsibilities as a coach, but based off of just like, first of all, like I did not like the retainment of Kel Mav, and like I said, I have nothing against Kel Mav.
Really?
I didn't, because the situation that was going on there. And if you were going to retain him, I would expect some type of trade. Now, like, I mean, I get it. You can hash out old beef, but sometimes, like, I just felt like seeing the reaction of BP after that, and seeing, like, you could instantly see that he did not like that, and it kind of just brings a bad juju into the next season. I mean, the Hawks have yet to have a successful season. I'm pretty sure all time, obviously I know not everyone is a judgment on prize pool. I am a huge judge. I pass a little judgment on it, but again, I'm pretty sure they haven't, had any success at all, really. Like, there's not really anything they can that he can hang his hat on to say that, yeah, like I did this right. Like in the BP trade, in a way, I felt like he lost the BP trade. Like BP's a great guard, but in that trade, I felt like he got like DJ Layton got the better half of that trade.
Like, 100% lost that trade.
So I mean, I'm putting him tier 3. That's my thought. Like, good guy, but if I'm being, me being honest, like I'm putting him tier 3. That's what I think about him. But I mean, if there's something that I'm missing here, maybe. But again, that's just my thoughts on him.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. You got to look at it. We're looking at it from the outside, and they have his teams that he's coached or managed haven't been successful. There's been some player issues, and if that's his fault or not, or if it's just bad luck, we don't know. He's the judge from the outside. So
yeah, I mean, and again, it's not like he didn't know coming in that like BP, you might have had some problems. You brought in a player that a franchise basically was, trying to get rid of because of like issues. And like I said, he's a good talented player, but you were expected to have some type of headache with him, and and the headache got bigger. Like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like there's nowhere that I can really put him beyond, like, tier 3, in my opinion. But, I mean, I'm going to see what the chat says. But the next coach we're going to move on to is Jonah. I kind of want to hear from you guys first on this, and then I'm going to kind of give my 2 cents on it. What are your guys' thoughts on Jonah? Where do you think he kind of lies in your guys' opinions?
Man, you can go first if you want, Harris. You can go.
I'm here to make sure that y'all stay consistent.
Yeah, this is tough because I like Jonah, and I think he's good. I really do. And he hasn't made playoffs. He hasn't coached a team that made playoffs. They had that fallout with the Mavs season 1. Yeah, that's not all of his fault, or I don't know, with Dimes and Day Fry. And the Magic have been pretty close. They were actually a really good team season 2. So they haven't made playoffs, so that you have to bring them down. I mean, I would say on the brink of 1, but high tier 2.
I'll put him in tier. I think
high tier 2, low
Jonah,
1. It's just tough.
I think Jonah's tier 2, 100%. I mean, I look at the coaches right now that I have all in tier 1. You know, look at LT. LT's been in playoffs 2 times. You know, same thing with DJ Layton. DJ Layton has been in playoffs 2 times. Shane 2 times.
You can make a case for him though. For one, you can
for
this impact on the team
this
and like
with Jonah. Obviously, like he's a grouch. Like you would think he's tier 1, but the resume would say otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, he chooses the eye test.
And I think
test,
he has a really
like
good. Go ahead.
Coach.
Yeah, I think he has a really good relationship with his players too.
I mean,
just
of course,
talking to, like knowing Reed and DT and like that's important. I don't know.
I mean, of course, that is something that you know you should always take into account. Like you know, like the fact that players are more willing to probably go play in Orlando because of Jonah. You know what I mean? Like, not saying like there's there's a bunch of coaches that people don't want to play for, but like if I was to pick, like most players are probably going to pick Jonah compared to some other coaches in the league. So like, I mean, again, you know, you're appealing to the eye, but again, you know, I feel like part of it is you know, that appealing side, but the thing is when I come there, what are the results? I mean, like I said, you know, season 1 it's not on him. But then, you know, you've been a coach for 3 years and you've yet to make playoffs. So I just think that he belongs in 2. I don't really see a world where he's in 1 because, like, when I compare, like, we got to remember, like, it's not that you're not a bad coach if you're in tier 2. It's just the fact that, like, the coaches in tier 1 are slightly better. And, like I said, I mean, look at DJ. I mean, I don't think I've really heard any problems over there. With LT, I haven't really. I mean, he has Dimes. A lot of people say that. You know, so some people might think Dimes is not an easy person to coach because he's kind of an alpha, but I haven't seen an issue with LT. LT's done very well there, and you know they've been in playoffs 2 times. You know, some people say that they've had easy schedules, whatever, but again, he's been in playoff twice. And then Shane, I mean, he's kind of like on the GM side of things, so it's a little different. But I just think that like maybe on the court, Jonah might be a 1. I don't know. I've heard Jonah in the studio. He's very vocal. You know, I've heard him communicate with his players. It's something that I will compliment him on and tip my hat to. He's someone that will communicate with his players. I will say that. But again, I mean, based on his resume in general, I just think he's 2. The next one is Lane Whitaker. Lane Whitaker is not really a coach. I mean, he's worn the cap, but I mean, not much success. I'm putting tier 3. That's just my thoughts. You know, they've obviously hired some new scouts to kind of bring in some new knowledge, but I think they need to hire a coach and bring in a coach to take, you know, because like I think Lang Whitaker is more on the business side of things versus, you know, being a 2K coach. I think he tried it out and it's not really like for him in my opinion. But
why is he tier 3 versus tier 2?
Why would he be tier 2?
Well, he's made a couple good trades the past 2 years. Goofy trade didn't work out. He was able to get equal value back. That team was basically a tiebreaker away from making playoff season 2 and was pretty close to making it season 3. He also is probably one of the biggest names in the entire NBA 2K League. I mean,
I'm leaning towards 2 here.
Yeah, really? I feel like
the more I think about it, I like Lane. I like just from talking to him a little bit here or there, and like obviously I don't know him that well as I've never played for him, but I feel like he has a good relationship with his players. I think he's dealt with a lot of shit and stuff with his teams in the past from season 1. We all know, even you know.
Yep.
I think he's done a pretty good job keeping it in house too, and I think they're going to be competitive this year. I mean, they've been pretty competitive. I mean,
like his team.
It's a classic Grizz. It's like classic Grizz.
I could definitely listen. I'm definitely with it. He's been a middle of the run team, so I guess I could put him in the middle at 2 with the tiers. That's fair. I mean,
would it be bad would it be stupid or counterintuitive to rank people within the tier? Or is that doing the most? Is that doing too much?
No, that's fine. That's fine. Again, like right now, my tier 2, I'm probably putting Jonah in I'd probably in my order right now, obviously
Jonah would be number 1 for tier 2 right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I just rearranged it. I'll fix it and make it look better. I'll make I'll you know, like I did with my other tier list, like the bigger and then make them, you know, whatever. But again, I don't hate the tier 2 for him. I just feel like, again, you know, he's constantly been like a middle of the run team. Like, you know, he's always been right there, but it's just always they fall short. I don't know what it is. I hope it changes for them, but again, it's always been the same results. I'm going to run that poll in the chat too. But the next coach is obviously a coach that Ramo is very familiar with. Ramo, we'll get your opinion last. I kind of want to hear, obviously he's been a former coach of the year and all that stuff. But where do you guys think about him? I personally, I mean,
Coach Juwan?
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate 2 for him, but
I would say middle of the pack 2.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't take away Coach of the Year. To be honest, his teams have not been great that he's coached. I'm going to be honest; they have not. I mean, they made playoff season 1. Ramo was carrying, and then season 2. What happened? Yeah, season 2 and season 3 were very bad. I mean, I like him. I think he's a high energy guy. I think he. This is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like.
I just don't like being too friendly and easy.
No, I
would say middle of the pack, low tier 2. That's what I'm saying.
Well, like I said, while you were not here, I made a rule, so we can only have 5 tier 1s. So I'm not loading up tier 1 with like 7 coaches. So all I'm gonna say is there's still coaches like Kyle Rudy out there who obviously won a championship. You have Comp who was coach of the year this past year. You have P Cross who was a NBA2KLeague champion this past year. I
think Len has the making of a potential of a high tier 1 with the way he's making moves in the trades, and I like his activity. I don't know him as a coach personally. I haven't heard anything, but he's not a 1 to me yet. After just 1 year, and they obviously didn't perform. They underperformed in the second half of the year, but I think he's made good moves and he's leading the team in the right direction. So
Len.
Yeah,
bums tier 5. Dude sucks.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
No, but let's finish up the left side and then we'll move on to that right side because that right side is going to be hell in my opinion. Like when we get over there, but
you put the 1 and 2 too.
I'm thinking mid tier 2.
Disrespectful.
You think 1?
Coach of the year? Why not?
No, I know, but I'm MVP. I'm MVP to be the player of the year from season 1. I'm not, but you can't just.
I hear you, and I seen some of the tier lists, and we place people off their past awards and past seasons. So why wouldn't you want to get tier 1?
You take in consideration, but also you have to. I mean, usually these tier lists. I mean, some of the tier lists.
There's only been 3 coaches of the year. That's what I'm saying. And he's one of them.
The year he would be tier 3, but he stays tier 2 to me.
And I mean, you played for him, Ramos. So I mean, you have the biggest. If you're gonna.
I mean, my thing.
You can't take away. You got coach of the year.
Again, is Coach Dewan in the same conversation as like a LT? Like, do you think he's better than an LT coach?
Easily.
It's so tough because his teams have been awful. Respectfully, they've been terrible. So it's and I don't know if he has any say or word with drafting. So it's he just plays the card. You play the hand you're dealt, right? I mean, and that's not like a cop out, just because his teams are bad, he gets to have 2 really bad seasons. But at some point, it's shit.
Yeah,
he hasn't had. I ain't gonna lie, he hasn't had too much say when it came to.
Okay, so I mean, I think he just. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, high tier 2 to me, but I'm not.
I mean, again, I'm gonna rearrange these in order, and we'll kind of come back to it. I like tier 2 for him. Again, I understand why Ramo feels that. I mean, Ramo he's been your coach. I mean, he did have coach of the year. It is an argument, but again, I mean, I don't want 10 tier 1s. That's too nice. Again, I want 5. I'm limiting it to 5. I'm keeping it like that. So again, there's only 2 more spots. There's only 2 more spots left in that, and in my opinion, it's maybe either P Cross or Rudy has to be in there, and probably P Cross over Rudy because P Cross overall I feel has had more success. But I don't want to just weigh it all on record because we do have to remember you guys go out there and play 2K. It's not all on the coach, Yeah. But I don't know personally what. Like I said, we'll get over there. But I want to move to the Warriors gaming coach.
One thing too. So how are we just value? How are we valuing these tiers? Is it just off of coaches?
That was my question, Raymond. What's the criteria? I'm trying to keep him consistent, Raymond.
Okay. So the criteria, in my opinion,
because the reason I asked that, not all of these coaches are here are coaches and GMs. Some are just coaches. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it really depends. I mean, like, so for some coaches, like, there's some people that like are coaches that have no control or no say. They just show up and it's kind of just like they coach who's in front of them. And then some coaches have complete control of who they get drafted, and they don't. It's really tough. But again, I mean, I mean, maybe some coaches have more power, and that's why they're higher. But again, like their responsibility is bigger, so we kind of have to, like if they perform well with a bigger responsibility, we kind of have to respect that more, don't we? Like I just feel like that. Like I feel like that's something that maybe values some people over other coaches.
Yeah, you just have to kind of take it all in context. I think there's a way to kind of keep it even. Like, I think it's fair to look at West and be like, yeah, he coached the hell out of that team last year. They lose type. They don't have any trade assets. And then obviously this offseason, maybe value-wise, they didn't get full value back. So, you kind of just have to take it all into account.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, again, I don't hate the tier list. I don't, so far, like I said, like, I don't hate the way the list is right now. I don't think there's, like, again, all these coaches that are in tier 2, like, in tier 2, you can argue Jonah can jump right there to 1. You can argue West can maybe jump. And, again, Ramo maybe can, argue that, with Coach of the Year, he can jump up to 1. But I think that 2 is the right place for all those guys. Because when I look at 1, and it may, I don't hate anybody in 1. I feel like if I was to rank it, like, top. I mean, I got to finish it first, and then I'll really give my full.
Yeah, I think we should put everyone in there, and then we can. It'd be easier to discuss, and argue, or whatever. Like
tier 1 should just be coaches who are consistently in the playoffs and consistently make runs in tournaments.
I mean, again,
baseline.
Top argument for Coach DeWan, like because the past 2 seasons, if we're judging off that.
Yeah,
it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, I mean. Like when we look at the NBA, what do we judge coaches off? Like Popovich. I mean, Popovich has had great players, but he's also consistently gone to the playoffs. He's had a lot of success.
Yeah, it's just tough because, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a little different, obviously, because the players, like with 2K, obviously, there's plays that can be ran, and some coaches run good plays and sets and stuff.
Well, it's not even about running plays. It's about managing. No, I know. My biggest thing. I feel like it's more of just personality management, like who manages personalities, and like that's why I think Ramo might rank, Coach DeWan. I always say his name wrong, but I think that's why I think that's why Ramo might rank him high because he's probably better than some coaches when it comes to. Talking to the team, but I don't know everything that happens in that locker room. That's why I like to hear from someone like Ramo. And again, it's not all on every coach, whether or not, like they don't have full say in everyone they get drafted. Sometimes they just show up and that's who they got. But again, we're going to move on to the Warriors gaming coach. Is it Mike is his first name?
Mike. Yeah.
Mike. Okay. I always, get his name wrong, but I was actually talking to Keena about this, and Keena says that a big part of his success was because of him. I actually don't know too much about Mike. I'd love to be intrigued about him. I don't know too much about Mike. I just know
he only coached for 1 season, right?
Yeah, he coached for 1 season this year.
Gotcha.
I will say this, just from my conversations with him, he very much came into this whole situation kind of like I did. Like he's a basketball guy through and through. Like, I guarantee you in a couple of years, you're going to hear his name as the head coach of a G League team or the assistant coach of an NBA team. Like, the dude fucking knows basketball as well as I think any coach in this entire league. I think he might struggle with kind of the ins and outs of specific 2K, and I think that's why it's good he has guys like Charlie and Smooth and Gradient to kind of fill in those gaps for him. But in terms of leading a team as a coach and understanding the X's and O's of basketball, I don't know how many guys there are in this league who are better. Like he's an assistant coach of their G League team for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, good points. Again, like I said, I think the Warriors gaming players would know more about him. It's tough.
It's just tough because Tommy was our coach for the first two seasons, and obviously when they traded for Keenan and drafted him with the Levert trade. Like they won damn near every tournament. They made it pretty far. They beat us in the first round and lost it. They had an amazing season 2 with Tommy, and that was with Type, and their team was great. But their team was great this year too, so that's the only thing. But I think he's really good. I mean, I think it's awesome.
Where's Rustin? Can we do like mic check combined with Rustin and put?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie,
Rustin.
Rustin.
I was gonna say
Rustin might be the best GM in the league.
I actually
Rustin go right next to
I ain't gonna lie though, we do that. It changes a lot of things.
Because then you bring Adam Rubin in. No.
Up to you, man.
It changes a lot.
I like that, champ.
I mean,
Wait, Adam Rubin's involved. Tier 5. Get him out of here. I'm messing.
I want to throw
Your viewers will shoot up to 500 plus if we start talking about Adam Rubin and all these.
I'll get some DMs. But again, I mean, I don't know. I feel like Russ.
I say high tier 2. First for tier 2 for me.
I feel like.
Or second.
Are you talking about for Mike? Or are you talking about for
yeah?
Russ? Okay.
I don't know if I can put him 1. I don't know. I'm not against it.
That are still up there. Like we're gonna need some room for some tier 1. So.
Yeah, it's hard. You got to be a little like.
Again, I think I'll put Mike in tier 2. I don't hate tier 2 for him. Again, I mean, you know,
I want to see another season. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate it. Like obviously he's had success, early on, and part of it might be because of a good roster, but at the same time, time will tell this year. But again, the next person we're going into is Cody Parent. From Pacers Gaming.
Cody.
I
know he's lurking in the chat. I know he's gonna tag me. Cody P.
I want to see what the chat. Obviously, I've been running polls. I kind of want to see before I kind of say things on this. I want to see what the chat has to say about this because I don't want to persuade it. I want to.
I can answer this one.
This can go one or two ways.
How are we doing this again? Are we doing this by coaching or just overall?
I mean, just your perspective, everything. Like, what do you like? Personally, what do you value? You know what I mean? Like, where do you stand? Where do you think he stands? Be honest. I'd rather you be honest. In my opinion, I think. I've heard his communication coaching wise, and he seems like a very good coach.
I'm gonna say this, coaching wise, you could put him tier 1 or S, but as a GM, he made some bad decisions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's fair.
But also some good decisions.
He's also the best content guy in the league, and that Pacers YouTube channel just churns out money, man.
Get talked about enough. Spencer's a dog.
Ooh boy, let me tell you, man. That Pacers YouTube channel. You want to talk about teams in this league that make money versus teams in the league that don't. That Pacers YouTube channel is a revenue driver. Hell yeah. Mm-hmm. They get 35K video.
Another thing I would say is Cody is the guy in Indy. Like he is like the manager of the manager. Like he's the guy there. So he handles a lot. He handles everything, coach, GM, all that. So
I like to for Cody. I like to. I think that if we take the mixture of his his actual coaching, I mean, I think that his coaching, like Ramos said, would probably be tier 1. But I think what brings him down from the tier 1 is his like management. Because
if he gets a good team, he could really excel.
Yeah, no.
His coaching is S. It's either S or tier 1.
But again, like I said, let's take all that together, and I just think that tier 2 is where he lies.
Season 1.
I think that if Cody is to,
I think like Walnut said, bro, it's gonna come down to the players, bro. It's only so much a coach can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's true, but at the same time, I mean he also had the power to choose the players that he had, and
I don't think we can. Put him at.
I don't think he. Like, if you think about the point guards that he's taken, like the context around it makes sense, right? Like he took a swing on Gunnar in the 3rd round because he took Wolf and Swizerk in round 1 and 2, so he took a swing on a European guy. Season 2, he didn't have a 1st-round pick because he traded for Ramos' bum ass, and then season 3. He took a swing on Ohio at pick 4, and it just didn't work out.
That's a good. Frank had a great question. Frank had a great question in the chat. Who's a better at content, Shane or Cody?
It's different because they use their production budgets really differently. Cody's Cody's has a much smaller budget, but does more with it because he's more focused on like the in-depth 2K like X's and O content.
Yep.
Whereas Shane has a bigger budget and uses that budget to kind of show I want to say the drama and tension that comes with having an NBA 2K League team, and they also do some really fun stuff with their house. So it's just two different ways of arranging a content strategy. But also like shout out to Spencer, who like also like is the head of their content team and is also like a huge part of that organization. Like nobody talks about Spencer Martin, but like he's that guy. Like he's great. He's awesome. So
okay, that's fair. Anyway, the next person we're going to move into is Rico from Southwest Crossover Gaming. From a perspective, like from some, I think from like a communication perspective, very good. I mean, success. I mean, he's been very. I mean, again, like we talk about like a Lane Whitaker, like he's had I mean, he's gone to the finals and stuff like that. He's just like a better. I think he's just a better like a. He's like a better version. It just that.
I think he's a player's coach. He listens to his players. I think he vibes with them. He rocks with them. Like he's doing his fitness thing with his brand. Like, I think. I mean, God, I'm sensing an issue. I think it's going to be a lot of twos, but I mean, you can't put a three. You can't put a one.
Again, here. How about this? I'm only.
I think there should be 4 tiers. I'm not going to lie.
You think there should be 4 tiers?
I just think there's going to be so many twos. Like, Rico is not a bottom tier coach of 3, but he's not to me a 1, in my opinion, based on what I see on the outside.
The reason there's going to be so many 2s and stuff like that because there's only 1 tier S and there's only 5 tier 1s. I feel like there should be at least like 2 or 3 S's, or even want to keep it 1, whatever. But like 6 or 7 1s, something like that.
I can.
Or like Walnut
said, I will do
smooth tier 2 guy.
Yeah, I will do, but my thing is like, are we being too nice? Like you can't tell me that there's only going to end up being like at most 3 tier 3s. Like
I don't think. Say that Rico's a tier 3 coach after how that team was.
No, we can. But again,
it's a big year for him, though. That's all it is. This is a big year for him.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I don't think you can rank him like in tier 3. Like you kind of have to compare him to the coaches that he's in there with too. So like that's the thing. Like all right, so Jonah's probably like I think out of all those coaches, like Jonah might be, but. I mean, that's tough because, like you said, like with Coach Duan, like he did, he was Coach of the Year and he made playoffs. Well, Jonah has never made playoffs, but he's a player's coach.
You can make a real argument that in season 2, Rico is the second best coach in the entire league. Like all Rico couldn't, the only thing Rico couldn't do in season 2 was beat the Sixers. He lost to the Sixers in the tip-off championship and he lost to the Sixers in the playoffs. That was like all he couldn't do was beat the Sixers. But that team was 1-5 and they finished 10-6. Like, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, Rico again. Like Rico's
nothing wrong with a lot of tier 2s. I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's fine. Again, I like for me, I'm willing to make tier 1 6. I don't know about 7.
No, you should just keep it here, and then after it, like
we can
kind of sort of
I'll jump it around. Yeah. Next one is Rudy. Where are we putting Kyle? I mean,
Mr. Let's Ball Up. Oof. Season 1. Run of the ages.
Kyle Rudy. I mean, he's a champ. I don't know. I mean,
man.
But again, the Knicks have never had a winning season in 2K League history.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where he's definitely not 3. Hell no. He's.
He won a championship and he has some strong ass personalities.
I know. I think he's a good coach.
That's the thing. Y'all put the 1 at tier 2.
No, Rudy's got to be 1.
That was the 1.
Rudy's got to be 1.
Season 1. Yeah, I'm saying that was season 1. Keep in mind that was season 1.
Yeah.
This is different though because Rudy won a championship.
Yeah.
And like you said, he did have strong personalities. It's not like he had really strong personalities. You know what I mean? Like I'm being honest. Another
thing too. Like, yeah, we always talk about they won a championship, but like they had a bad record that season. But they also won a tournament. They could turn. That's the only way they made it there. You know what I'm saying? So they won a tournament and a championship. That's things they won. Like they turned up towards the end. They couldn't figure it out in the beginning of the season. Towards the end, they figured it out, and
there was like a patch, right, that came out or something like that.
my only thing with
I heard
Rudy
they beat the season Warriors.
Yeah.
My only thing with Rudy is, I'm not sure the dynamics of that Knicks front office and how they draft and stuff. They haven't drafted all that well since season 1. I mean, season 2 they did get Malik, but They don't have anybody else on that team from season 2.
Great
Everybody
pick.
else is gone. And then season 3, they had.
Who else they get season 2? Who else they drafted? Malik.
They brought back Idris. They brought back
Yeah,
Ye.
they won the championships.
They drafted Haza. They drafted Haza.
Yeah, it's a classic case. Like we won the championship. What like we got to bring them back. Even it's like
brought back.
So like season 3, right? They draft Duck number 2 overall, and they draft Rob first round. The best pick of their draft was probably Big Rim. I don't know. They had a lot of picks last year, and none of them really turned out. But again, it's COVID, so I'm excited to see what the Knicks do this year with their first round picks. 9 and 10, it's going to be really interesting.
That's the thing, though. They're running it back with that team that wasn't successful during COVID, and we're still going to be in a situation to where we're playing virtually in a way. So I don't know. This is interesting.
It didn't work out. That team had 4.
You can't really see them running it back with that team because they got 2 first round picks. It's going to be a little different.
I mean, they went 7 and 9. Like, it's not like they were garbage. They were a young team. There was clearly a rebuild year, and they were fine. They were competitive. I mean, I can't remember when they were like getting like absolutely blown out of games. Like, they were pretty competitive.
Okay.
I think we'll see Robert in the season at the 4.
Ooh, interesting.
That's my not. I just think he's a better 4, and I think they'll get a 5 or have someone that'll play the 5 at a higher level.
Hey, they had a chance to trade for Dane Downey and didn't do it. So.
Interesting. Watch here's mom. Rubenstein.
Things to ponder.
Ruben bomb.
The Ruben bomb.
So wait.
I like that. The Ruben bomb.
When it comes to the trades,
What'd you say?
What did you say?
does Rudy run the show when it comes to trades?
I don't know the dynamics of their front office.
I mean, I would assume so. Who else is like?
I think he probably has a good amount to say.
I think it's probably Cole.
Yeah.
Jonathan. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm keeping him tier 1 for now, just because it's hard. I mean, he won a championship. Like you can't put him it's hard to put like think about like all the tier 2 coaches we have right now, and what is the difference between like Kyle versus all them? You won a championship. I'm not saying
yes, Big West. So the first season was single elimination in the first round of the playoffs. Yep.
Wait, Dan, how do you know that?
I don't know. It just came to me. I don't know.
It kind of hit you hard like a backboard.
Like, can we not talk about it? Just consider this. How crazy is that, though? That we really thinking back on it now with all the series we play now. It's like think about it. We flew to New York and played a best of 1 against the New York Knicks. And just won the tournament. We're talking about one game of that.
Wait, how long was that flight?
I remember that night too.
6-hour flight.
6-hour flight just to come and play a 1 game of 2.
It was an epic game. I mean, the crowd that was the most lit crowd in any.
Longer than Mama or Mama and Shots. Y'all, I can't believe y'all lost. They were stunned. I can't believe y'all lost. I don't think y'all team is going to be that good.
Well, no team will be that good as far as on paper. What we did. The Raptors were great, but I mean that was different.
They had to break it up after season 1.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah, but the Wizards get to keep on. I get it.
Listen, man.
Move on. I'm getting tired.
Anyway, Nick Gartrell. Oh,
they're having a great time.
He's talking to the chat.
You think
what do we do, bro?
Jokes already talking about the backboard.
Yeah. Anyway, Nick Gartrell is the next one. He's the head coach now. I know.
Man, if we got Justin Butler over there, I'm putting him 1 right now. Oh my gosh. Man, I don't know. How can we rate Nick though? Didn't he get just hired?
I mean, he was the assistant. He was the assistant. I don't know. I don't think I can rank him actually.
Yeah, I don't think we should rank him or can't. I don't think it's fair. I don't know. How can we judge him? I mean, Justin Butler, right? There's a name that coach. He came in for the interim coach or he filled in. They made that run, and then this year they struggled.
Nick wasn't coaching, was he?
No. He was an assistant coach. I
think he just got hired, right? I think he just did.
I think he was an assistant turned to head. So I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, we could do like a JV/Nick tier 1 if we want to get freaky, but I don't know.
I'll put him in his own tier, outside the tiers.
Nick, he's like tier 5.
Yeah. Tier 1 dancer though.
The next one is OG King Kurt.
OG 2 cents, baby.
Give me the 2 cents on this one. Where are we going with this one?
I know Rainbow's got to get the 2 cents right here. That Brooklyn grit in you. Go ahead, Reigns. Come on.
I will say this: I do love the moves they made. They made some great moves.
Yeah, like they traded randoms who's awful. Like that was a really good deal for shots. Are you kidding me? That was elite. That's like highway robbery.
They got Jen. Jen is very underrated. Shots is an animal. I just want to see how they mix, how they gel with each other going into the next season. Because
yeah, I'm putting him. I think he's 2. I think he's 2.
Here's the one thing with Kurt. Here's the one thing with Kurt. This is a big draft for him. 2 full years. Now we're going to season 4. The only person that is on that team that they have drafted, that includes expansion draft, season 2 draft, and season 3 draft. The only person that's still on that team is Chuck that they've drafted. So just something to acknowledge.
Interesting.
I just think that who did he draft in the first round in season 2?
Wavy.
I just think the Wavy pick was a really bad pick. I mean, Wavy's a cool guy. Wavy obviously played a little better in season 3, but I just felt like that pick was just a huge reach, and it just put him in a hole. Like I felt like that pick just hurt him a lot. I
don't think they've drafted bad players. I think that they've done a good job of turning those players into usable assets.
But my thing is, if you go look back on that draft, it's like, I mean, I feel like there was just a lot of people you could have taken before you took Wavy. And I just felt like that hurt them, and like they dug themselves a hole. I mean, they've dug out of it.
It wasn't Kurt who drafted him. That was Ank. Blame Ank, bro.
Oh, Ank. All right, Ank. We're putting you in tier 5 for that one.
Yeah, bum.
But
YL and Cooney.
But again, I mean, listen. Again, Kurt, I think they've recovered. I mean, they've turned it completely around. Like we went from a team where Wavy was like a first-round pick on their team to now they have Chalk as their star and they got shots. Like, I mean, that's a great turnaround. So, I mean, right now I'll put them 2, and this year I think that could change depending on the success and like the results. So, I think he's a 2 at this point. So, I know, like I said, we're putting.
Well, you can't put him 1. You just can't. You can't. I mean, I think he's a great dude and a good personality. I like his brand and everything he stands for. I don't think you can put him at 1. I don't think you can.
Yeah, I mean,
they haven't made playoffs and they haven't been great. I mean, it is like on paper. The eye test fails.
He has that voice. He talks, you'll listen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He knows how to gather a team.
Okay.
No, I agree.
But okay, all right. Like I said, I think he's in 2. The next one is You Famous Enough. Where is Famous?
Is very interesting.
This one's the most interesting one.
This is going to be interesting. Yeah, I mean, go ahead. I think we need some Harris. I think we need some Harris input.
Me? Oh God! All right, I'm not going to give an opinion. I'm just going to give the context.
This one's touchy because a lot of people
here's
Famous is the best. He's overrated. Like, I mean, Famous. He's the guy.
Here's the context with Famous. So good regular season. Season 1 made a title. Season 1 as well. Obviously lost, unfortunately. Season 2 didn't draft all that well, though. He got Lottie and J Money. The J Money trade didn't work out for them. They flipped him for Easy. Easy, obviously, that
no,
just didn't work
J Money
out.
was for Hood.
Oh, J Money for Hood. Sorry, that didn't work out. They flipped Easy for Lottie.
Yeah.
Season 2 trades didn't work out.
Yeah, that was wow.
Coming out of draft night, season 3, everybody thought the Heat were the best team in the league, and the team just didn't really work out. But again, that was a team that also had a lot of server problems and internet problems. But at the end of the day, the team hasn't made the team's deepest tournament run since season 1 was the tick in season 2. And then last year they were kind of a no-show in tournaments.
Here's my thing. I'm going to say something real quick. Season 1, the patch saved them. It helped them. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to just put it out there. And it is what it is. You play the hand you get. You know, they played it 5-out hot shot. He killed it, dogged it, made it to the finals, all that. But they were not a playoff team beforehand. And I don't know if that. I'm just putting it out there. A lot of people forget like that patch saved a lot of teams.
Oh, you're talking about you're talking about the
from season
patch?
1, the Heat. That's the only
patch?
thing. If we're looking at the eye test of what happened season 1, yes, they made the finals. They made great money. They competed against the Knicks, who were obviously the best.
You can't blame him for that, though, Walnut.
No, I'm not. But
as a coach, you want to put your best player in that situation to thrive.
No, I don't. That was the best move possible, Ramo. Clearly, but I'm saying like. I don't even know.
You know what I'm saying, right?
No, I do. You play. You got to play. You can't.
It is what it is. A lot of coaches wasn't ballsy enough to make that move to have that 5-out offense. Famous was.
They were desperate, though, Ramo.
They were what?
Sorry, Taco Fall just hit a 3 in an NBA game. That was sick.
Did he really?
Yeah, he just got a 3 and made it.
Was it a confident
Taco!
3 or was it a confident 3 or was it like a
real 3. Like he was outside the arc, set shot, took the 3 off the backboard and in.
Is it on Twitter?
It's about to be. It just
it'll be.
Sick.
I'm definitely gonna check that out. I'll bring it up on stream.
That's another thing about Famous too, bro. He said he be just chilling around, just drawing up plays in his phone. Like, how many coaches like put that much effort in?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go off. I'm gonna just whatever you guys say. I'll have my input. I don't know. I really don't.
I think tier 2. I think that yes, I agree that the patch benefited him, but at the end of the day, they did go to the finals. Famous.
He's definitely not tier 3. That's not even.
I know.
He's at least tier 2, high tier 2.
Yeah, but I don't think he's tier 1 at all.
Yeah, man.
At all.
Ramo?
I don't like. I just don't think he's.
Help me out, Rames. What do you think?
Listen. What we can do once we listen. We'll put him tier 2, but we're gonna rearrange the tier 2s in order.
It's so weird. It's either you put him.
It's so interesting,
it's like you can't put him tier 2, but you can't put him tier 1. It's so weird.
I know it's weird. It's weird. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't.
All right. Well, we'll come back to Famous. We'll keep him in tier 2 for now. But the next coach we're moving on to is a coach from Blazer 5 Gaming. I'm interested in Walnut. Convince me, where does he go? And just honesty, where does he go?
Oh, Coach Skis, man, Andrew.
Hold on, gents. Unfortunately, your judge and moderator has to split. The fiance wants to spend some time with me, so I gotta peace out. Good luck.
You just watched Taco Fall hit a 3. That's why.
I do. Taco Fall hit a 3, and then Taco just took somebody off the dribble and got a throw down dunk. So go Taco.
Yeah, he's going.
Frank is here. Perfect. Frank can take over for me. I'm out. Peace.
That's right.
Let me hear this.
We got to get this right.
All
you
right.
cannot have Kyle Rudy tier 1 and Fame tier 2. They both had the same worst regular season records for the same 3 years.
Okay.
They both made it to the finals. One just played on the patch better than the other.
Okay.
That actually, yeah.
Rudy tier 1, so is Fame. There's
I see what he's saying, though.
He won the championship.
That's fair.
Well,
They both made it there. And to Walnut's point, both teams were bad before the patch.
Yeah.
And they've consistently been bad for 3 years. So if Kyle Rudy, I'm just going by what y'all have here.
No, you're right. You're right.
So is Fame.
Only thing I could say is, Frank, that they did win the ticket, which at the time was all teams were involved. It was for a good amount of money. And I know that's what got them in the playoffs. So it's like same kind of thing with the.
But that's part of the patch, right? You would agree that run was part of the patch, right?
Yeah, it was for sure.
Okay.
I get what he's saying.
So
yeah, I get what he's saying. Because Famous runner-up. Kyle won it, which obviously is way better than running. Being he won it. You don't get. You get rewarded in notice for being a runner-up, still making it there. But it's like, and the Knicks haven't been great. They've been really bad the past 2 seasons. The Heat have been really bad. They're both similar as far as like good personalities, good dudes, respected.
And you got to go 10-2.
Yeah, it's either we drag Rudy down or we drag Famous up. I agree.
I think they're just the same. I just think they're both tier 2.
I think we got to drag Kyle down, but he won.
That's what I did. No,
no.
It's the same thing. They both made it to the
enough for this shit.
I'm just saying. I think that like I said when I did my other tier list, like I put them in order. Like I think that you could say that Famous and Rudy are. Would you say Famous and Rudy are at the top of that tier 2 group? Like in my opinion, because I think they are. I think if I'm looking at this group, this like whole group right here, like of tier 2s, I think they're at the top of the tier 2 group.
I'm not gonna lie. I think we just got to move Famous up to 1.
Why? Well, like I'm just wondering.
Well, I just don't want to drop Rudy down. He won. Like I know it was ugly. Ramo.
But all right. So you drag all right. We bring Famous in now. He's in a group with like a DJ, DJ and a LT and a Shane. And Shane, like I said, we talked about this before
but
too.
Famous
with
is Famous is famous. Like I get.
It's just so hard to judge it from outside. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it is. I mean, I don't know everything internally. And that's the thing. Like, I mean, let's keep those two in tier 2, and like I said, I want to limit tier 1 to 5. I don't want it to be. It should like the top shouldn't. There shouldn't be a lot of people at the top. Let's be honest. I mean, the top isn't that. Like, it shouldn't be that heavy at the top. I don't think it should be. I mean, there has to be a skill gap at some type of coaching, right?
Ooh.
So where would you put Comp?
Oh man, bro.
I mean, he's coach of the year. He just had a 14-2 year. He turned around an entire organization in 2 years, and you know, I mean, I think that, you know, in my opinion, Comp's tier 1. I know it's recency bias, which is tough, but
Comp gotta go too.
Yeah,
especially after that last season.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I think Comp is the tier.
Not even just got they drafted right. They did the right moves. Like, gotta go tier 1.
Yeah, I think that he's the tier. I think he's tier 1.
The mistake is there's a coach in tier 2 that should not be in tier 2, that should be in tier 3. And because you allow that coach to be in tier 2, you have a plethora of tier 2 coaches. Because that one coach going to tier 2, you make cases for every coach.
Put a name on it. Who's that?
I'm not going to say. It's not my job.
No. You can't bring it up.
Nah. I mean,
if you gonna drop him, you gotta let him hang.
I mean, dude, he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to.
Coach, and his history equals tier 3, and because you put him tier 2, you automatically have to put coaches that are on the same level as that coach into tier 2. So that's why you have so many tier 2s. And I'll leave it as that. That's the mic drop, and I'll leave it as that.
Damn, Frank came in.
And that's the mic drop.
Again, I mean, I think that. I mean, I'm not sure. I am not sure at all which one that would be then. I mean, what is he? I don't know if maybe he's talking about your coach Ramo. No.
No way.
No, I'm trolling you. I don't know. I think that. I mean, where would P Cross go though?
P Cross goes to 1.
Is he but based off? I mean, I guess he won a championship.
He just won a championship, like.
Yeah.
I mean,
you cannot deny that.
Yeah, I mean,
won a championship, assembled a great team, like.
True.
Yeah. They drafted Awkward. They drafted Dini. Come on.
They assembled a perfect team.
And yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think that was all P Cross's call on Dini pick too. I'm not gonna lie. That's elite. You let him hang.
Okay, that's fair. So I agree. I think that's that's the tier 1 group. What about Len? I mean, I think Len.
Oh yeah, Wizards were in the playoff season 1 too with Boo.
Yeah. So yeah.
Sam, can you move your camera over to the left now, since like the?
Oh yeah. My bad. Hang on.
Yeah.
Slow mo. The thing is about Kyle is like yes he won first they won in season 1, which you got to go off the recent seasons as priority over the past seasons. I mean, you don't forget it or think about it. But the thing is that the way they won, and it doesn't matter. They won a finals, they won a ring, they deserved it, earned it, whatever. The thing is that they were not. It's the same.
But all right. But I'm going to say this right now, and maybe some people might disagree. I think a season 1 championship. I mean, a season 3 championship is more valuable than a season 1 championship because more and more better players are getting into the league every year. Correct. There's more and more talent getting in the league. So every year that the league goes, the championship should get harder because there's more better players getting into the league, right? So season 3 has been the hardest championship to win. So we have to.
We're only in season 3. Like as time goes on, these lists will be way clearer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
but again, I think that like Pete Cross was successful back in season 1, and he was successful here in season 3, and ended up winning a championship. And it came down to a lot of great selections. Like he got some big picks. Like, I mean, like getting having the success with Awkward was great, and then obviously that great pick with Nudini. So, I mean, it's simple as that. I think that he has to be tier 1. The question is, who's I feel like we have all our, obviously I know you guys said there might be some tier 2 people that could go to tier 1, but who is at the top of tier 1 then? Like out of these 5? Like that's just my question. I mean, I feel like it has to be. I mean, it's either it might be P-Cross.
I think it goes P-Cross, Comp, Shane, LT, DJ Layton.
DJ Layton last?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about DJ is, what were the Kings season 2? They made the playoffs.
They were a playoff team. Yeah,
they made playoffs. They made playoffs every year he was there.
Yeah, he's
they did, and they're good.
And the thing is, we were talking about it too. Is he like look at the look at the management he's had, like overall player assets wise. I don't know.
And let me say something quick to Tim.
Go ahead.
And I ain't gonna lie, that season 2, like the shit he had to deal with to make playoffs, like man, tough. Because people will never get along that season 2.
Good point.
Mm-hmm. So who's number 1 in the tier 1 though? Like who is number 1? Is it P-Cross or Comp? It's P-Cross.
P-Cross and Comp, in my opinion.
Yeah, I put P-Cross before Comp, and then Comp. Even though Comp is Coach of the Year, I mean I think it's just the championship. That's why.
You know what? Maybe we got to put LT last in tier 1.
I think LT is last in tier 1.
Yeah, because they haven't done anything in tournaments and playoffs. They've made it. They've been competitive, but I got to see a little bit something more. I mean, he's still tier 1, which is really good, and he's a good ass coach.
Yeah, it's not taking anything away. I mean, there's coach. At the end of the day, we have to be honest. There are coaches that are better than other coaches in the 2K League. Like, not every coach is on the same level. I think that's the truth of it. Like, obviously success is weighed in different ways, but like, a championship is overall like the goal for every coach. And I mean, P-Cross, he achieved that. Obviously with LT struggled in playoffs. It's not, but also we have to remember the Kings. How far have they gotten in playoffs? Haven't they been like first rounded every time too? I think they've been.
Kings got first rounded in the season 2. Yes, they did. Season 3, who did they play? The Kings played. Oh no, they kicked the. The Wizards kicked the Kings' ass. Oof.
Yeah, so they got first round at both times, but
that was a bad break right there.
Yeah, it's a bad break. Like that's a tough break for them. But the Kings also, I don't know. Like I feel like they just
the Kings make some good runs though in the tournaments, right? A couple semis. Did they make a finals of the turn? Or yeah, the Kings were competitive in tournaments.
The Kings were competitive. No, they're a competitive team, but they just they're not. I would still put like them above like the Mavs in that.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I think you got to go P-Cross, Comp. Then you go Shane, you go DJ, you go LT.
That's fair. Again, I think that's the best way. But
no,
again,
Jonah, DJ is definitely tier 1. That's not what we're discussing.
So my question right now, out of all the tier 2s, which one would you push down to tier 3?
I'm not gonna lie, DJ. Actually, that Kings team dealt with 2 back-to-back years of shit shows. What would you say?
I said when it comes to these tier 2 coaches, which tier 2 coach would you move down to tier 3? I still think Lang Whitaker would move down.
It would have to be. Oof. It would have to be Lang. It would have to be either Lang, Duwan, or OG. And that's more of the eye test on paper than actually who they are as people and who we know them.
I just think that I get it. Lang's a good guy, but I mean, let's put the measure. Let's put it up. All right, so Jonah has been a middle of the run coach. He's always, but people say that he's a personality guy. Like people like his personality more. I don't want to rate that high though. Like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Like my thing is, all right. So the tier 2, so you have Kyle, Rudy, and Famous in the tier 2. They almost, they're brighter on my screen right now for a reason.
The Nets made the playoffs?
Yeah, they made it this year, but they they made it by they made it by a hair.
Oh, I forgot, bro. I totally. They did. They played.
But the thing is, the thing is, all right, if I'm putting this in real order, okay, hang on. I think that Famous and Rudy are at the top of this tier 2, and then it goes Rico, because Rico, again, he's had the combination of success, but he also has the player likeness around him. Like, it's not even just the factor that, like, he's had success, but, like, players will go play under Rico. You know what I mean? Cody made playoffs one time. Outside of that, he hasn't had success, but I mean, his on the court coaching has been good, I guess you could say. But at the same time, I don't know.
I think the only one we could drop really is Lang.
Lang.
I don't like dropping OG. I forgot they made playoffs this year. You can't drop Cody. You can't drop Mike. You can't drop.
Okay, but my order of things. Okay, so I'm just putting.
Or it would have to be Big West. It would have to be maybe Big West because I mean, they only made playoffs this year. They had a good year. He dealt with a lot of issues.
No,
but
I wouldn't drop West. If anything, it's like, all right. So my order of things and how I have it right now.
I'm just.
Yeah, I know. Here's my thing. Okay, what do all these coaches have in common except one of these coaches? What do these coaches stick out? Which one is the one that never made playoffs?
Jonah.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, all right, Kyle, championship, Famous championship, appearance, but obviously he had his struggles. Rico, I mean, Rico's been to the finals so many times. He has one playoff appearance. Hornets, made the playoffs this year. Up and down team, they had close games this year with the Raptors early on in the season. Like, they're a competitive team, and despite all the headaches, they handled that. Obviously, they still have the situation. They still have room to prove stuff. They have a lot that has to go. I don't know if I put West at the higher part of the tier 2 just because he still needs more time. But again, I think that Kurt and West are in that same spot because like when we're talking about in the tier 2 vicinity, those two are like they're when they're sitting on the bus, they're like those two are together. You know what I mean? Like those are the two guys together. Like in my opinion, when it comes to like just overall success as a coach, because they both just made playoffs one time. The only difference is Kurt has one more year on him. Obviously, Mike from Warriors Gaming, he's a 1-year coach, so it's tough. I mean, he was with the Warriors too, so like that has a great roster. You know what I mean? He comes into a great situation, so I don't know how much that was on him. And Cody, another guy that made playoffs once. So I look at all these guys. I mean, I don't know. It's tough. Where would I put Sam Pham? I don't even know where I put Sam Pham.
I'm not gonna lie. He's pretty smart.
Like, what he's got.
This is getting ridiculous. Oof.
I'm stupid. It's so weird because like when you put it into just like eye test and just like no accolades on like that, you put someone like Sam Pham like tier 1. Cody tier 1, Big West.
The thing is, like Sam Pham, I mean, like you don't see him on the timeline much, so he doesn't have that like that pizzazz about him.
Bro, he's smart.
No, he is for sure. I'm just saying, like he isn't the one that sticks out as far as
like I've heard it. Like, bro, he is smart.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, and obviously, I'm seeing
film
the chat.
breakdown, everything.
I don't want and I don't want the bias to be like.
I'm not gonna lie. Actually, I think I'm not even. I'm ready to put him tier 1. Oh. I actually remember that he did personalized he did personalized like stuff on the Bucks matchups. Like he had stuff on like percentage wise where like for me like how many like my pump fakes or like where I like it in the paint like personalized matchups. Like I don't know how many coaches have done that and like have really. I'm ready to put him at the bottom of tier 1.
But okay, so the Bucks, they made playoffs one time ever, right?
I think they acquired him after season 1 though.
I'm gonna go tell you guys their tournament record right now. I have the analytics actually for tournament record. I want to see their success in tournaments.
Did they make playoffs?
I think.
Yeah, they lost their Warriors.
It
was actually a competitive series, which doesn't mean anything. But
again, let me pull up the internet real quick, guys, because I want to see. I have the analytics.
Yeah,
so like,
this is not easy. It's not right. It's not right.
Yeah, there's a lot of good coaches. Not enough tiers.
And it's like it's hard. There's no like stats really.
There should be one more tier in between 2 and 1.
I agree.
You think that like okay, if I was to add a tier, like so you think there should be 4 tiers? or like 5. Well, S tier 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You get what you want. You finna get it on.
It's tough. Hang on. I'm trying to pull up the stats, but my internet's being really slow. It's probably because I'm running so many programs. Forget about that. Let me take that down because it's making my computer lag. Jeez, my internet is going so slow. All right. All right, Sam Pham. I mean, I don't know if I can put him in the same conversation as like a P Cross, a Comp, a DJ,
I guess
LT,
tier
a
2,
Shane.
right?
Like you can put him in tier 2. That's fine. But like I said, like you got it. Like all these coaches have like unique traits to them. Not even just like their success. Like I'm not trying to weigh it all off the success, but like yeah, like all these coaches, like you can argue that like. All right, Rudy is probably very, he's not dumb. He's a smart guy, famous. Out here, breaking down film, drawing up plays. He does it too. I think all of them do it. I just think that like it's all about how it pans out. I mean, again, the Bucks I think only made playoffs one time, right? I don't think they didn't make it in season. They didn't make it in season 2. So, and I just think that I get tier 2 for Sam Pham. Like, that's fine. But, again, I just feel like Tier 2 is really generous. Like, I feel like it's a really generous place. But, I mean, it's tough. I'm trying to... Let me move some people around real quick. Hang on. I still have 3 coaches I haven't even put on here yet. I don't even know where I want to put... I don't even know where I want to put Len.
4.
Well, no, Nick. I'm not putting Nick on it.
So wait, what?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm just gonna keep Nick off the thing because like it's kind of
all right.
Like Nick's not really the coach.
Where'd you put Sam Pham?
I put him in 2. I think that's a good spot for him.
He should be 1.
But the thing is, if he's 1, you got to look at who's in 1 with him. Like, my thing is about 1. Like, all right, so one like you look at P Cross. P Cross is the season 3 champion. I would say that's the most valuable championship out of 1, 2, and 3, in my opinion. Like, just because there's more better players. Like, it was more obviously it was online. Obviously, you can throw that factor in, whatever. But then you have Comp, who's coach of the year. You have Shane, who had a 16-0 team this past year, but he's made playoffs 2 times. And then you have DJ Layton, who's made playoffs twice. You have LT that's made playoffs twice. I mean, Sam Pham, I could argue is he's in that group with like you have I like Kyle there. I like Famous. I like Rico, and then I like Sam Pham. I don't mind that. I mean, I like.
Yeah, it's just tough.
Like I said, it's definitely tough. I mean, agree. I don't mind adding another tier, like, but who would be in that tier? All right, so tier 2 coaches. Like, all right, let's say that there was another tier, right, Rambo? So it would probably be Rudy in tier 2. It'd probably be Famous in tier 2. It'd probably be Rico, then Sam Pham, and then I think it cuts off. I think then we go into a tier 3. It's West, OG, Dewan, Mike, and then Cody Parent. And I don't know. Like I feel like there's 4 people in that one in that. Like I don't know. It's tough.
So you only want 5 people in tier 1, right?
Yeah, I don't want more. I don't want a stacked because the thing is, if I open the gate, let's say like I brought up Rudy and Famous, like like I mean, those are the only 2 people I could see I could bring up. The rest of them would have to stay, and then it's weird to see like Rico and Sam Pham in like a category with like a Wes and Kurt. I feel like it's different. Like I don't think that like I don't know. I just feel like that's that's a weird group. I like the group of like a Rudy, Famous, Rico, and Sam Pham together. in like a tier together. I don't mind that tier. Like I don't hate that. I don't hate that.
Let's fill in the slots first. Fill in the rest of the coaches, then we adjust everything.
Well, the Cavs Legion coach, I don't really know much about. I haven't really seen any impact from him, so I'm just gonna put him in tier 3. Nothing against him.
Did they make playoff season too?
No, they were literally ever since season 1. They've been
they tier 3.
Yeah, ever since season 1, they've been on the downfall, constant downfall. They actually, I think they just had their statistics, like their stats were literally the worst they ever had in their 3 seasons. So I get that. The Blazers coach, I feel like he, he is.
Well, Walnut could talk about that more than anyone.
Yeah, I mean, but again, it's his first year, and I mean, they had a bad year the first year he was a coach. You know what I mean? Like, let's not
like having 2 good years without a coach.
Yeah, so that's my thing. Like, it's like, and it's not like it's on him, but unfortunately, if we look at how it's like, on paper, as soon as they got a coach, they had a bad year, and now all the players are gone. You know what I mean? That's not on him. Obviously, that Cameron's in charge, and there's some other factors, but again, I feel like I just don't feel like he belongs in the tier 2 yet. He hasn't really earned that, in my opinion. Not that he's a bad coach, but he just hasn't, like, that's the same thing I say with Insanity. Insanity had a bad year, but it wasn't like on him. It's his first year as a coach coming into a situation that I don't think was the best. And then
he's like the coach. He's like the coach on the Rockets. It's a tough situation for him.
Mm-hmm.
He just got there.
So Len, again, I don't. I agree. I would add another. I would add another category to this. Like I'd probably add. I'll probably add.
Len is high IQ.
Yeah, he's high IQ. But his resume hasn't shown like yet that like he's in the category. Like, so, all right,
it's only been 1 year.
Yeah, it's been 1 year, so that's what I'm saying. So, but like I said, like if we're gonna there's some players that we have to value to a certain limit because, like, again, I think I don't know if I'm being biased because I know more about Len. I'm about to the way I have it lined up right now in the pyramid is kind of like, so I'll show you. I'm about to save it so you can see on your screen. So the way I look at it, I think that tier 2 should be exclusively Rudy, Famous, Rico, and Sam Pham, and then create a tier 3 for West, OG, Dwan, Mike, Cody, and maybe Len, and then make a tier 4 for Insanity, West from the Hawks, Lang Whitaker, DaddyJonah, Zero from the Cavs, and then the Blazers coach. I mean, it's not perfect. No list is ever perfect, but I think this is fine.
It's just so because we don't know about all the ins and outs, and they do the game plan and prep before the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that this is not a bad list. I think that this is like not perfect. I think that Len has plenty of. I think Len, out of anybody in that tier, like that group I have right there, has the most potential to move up. And I'm going to adjust it real quick just so people have a better visual.
It looks valid.
Like, I'm going to add that tier 4. Let me just do this real quick. I have to go on the internet and find a number 4. But yeah, no, I don't hate this at all. I mean, I like the tier 1 group. I'll be honest with you.
I like the tier 1 group too. But it's so weird too because I feel like a lot of them tier 2 coaches could be tier 1.
But like I feel like having that exclusive tier 2. So like the Rudy, Famous, Enrico, and Sam Pham. I feel like having that in between tier being like a tier 2 is kind of like the in between. Like they're right on the cusp. They're tier 2, but they're right on the cusp of being 1. And then you separate that group of the tier 3 with like because like they're not like. Hang on. So like you like that group with the tier 3, like a wet like that line that I have right there. That line, like they're I'm not saying they're not going to be tier 1, but I'm saying that that like Rudy, Famous, Rico and Sam Pham are closer to 1 than that line below them. Like that line of guys below them, I think are and you know, like I said, you know, if I was to put it in order, like again, I think Wes is above all the people in that 3 group. You can argue that I would probably put DeJuan second just because of his Coach of the Year. Because like again, you know, he had Coach of the Year. You know, you can't it doesn't matter what season it is. He was the best coach in the entire, you know, out of like everyone in the entire year. So,
it's just so much that goes into this. It's,
yeah,
Rudy won a championship.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, dude, the thing,
he's
the
not
thing,
tier 1.
the thing
Famous made it far to the finals. He's tier 2. Think about it. You know, Famous resume. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, look at Jeff Terrell. Jeff Terrell's never won a championship, and he's still the S tier. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The
thing is, exactly.
Like Sam Pham ain't win nothing, but he's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's like kind of the same thing I was saying earlier about like someone like a Cody. And even I think even in the chat talking about Mike, so I heard a lot of good things about the Mike coach on the Warriors. So I don't know. Heard a lot of good. Yeah, I said when you booted up this thing, Big West is a good coach. In my opinion, from what I heard.
Yeah, no, I'm sure Wes is a very good coach, but again, you know, in 1 year, you know what I mean? It's like comparing the rookie, like, you know, like when we're trying to do like when we were doing the tier list for players, like you have some players like, you know, they had a good rookie campaign, you know what I mean? But like they didn't play in. First of all, a lot of these guys never played in the studio too. Like so, like the young, like all these PGs that did good. Who's to say that if like we get back to the studio and they play the same, you know what I mean? So it's like. There's a lot of factors that like we have to realize in season 3 that like it's not that there's an asterisk, but there's definitely it's definitely weighed differently. But I mean, again, I think that this is fine. I think that I'm gonna see from the chat. Without Mike, I'd still be that sad at the game. Yeah, you're late to the party, Kev. You think Mike is 3? Nick is tier 3 since he didn't put on a headset. I don't even know if I want to put. Should I just throw Nick on it for shits and giggles? No, I can't.
Put Nick over Jeff.
Just put Nick in S tier. I'll grab Nick's picture and just put him S tier.
Put him on top of the pyramid.
That sounds about right. Hang on. I'm just editing the pyramid right now.
Make sure you put his little baby head up there.
I'm just gonna get a cutout only of just Nick's head and just make it really big and put it on top of the pyramid. Thanks for the appreciate the sub, Wes. Appreciate it, man. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't hate this list at all. I think that again, you know, this is like no one's ever. You think about it, no one's ever made a coach tier list. This is actually the first time I think someone's made an actual tier list for coaches. So I think it's just unfounded territory, and it's kind of hard, and you know that's why I wanted to do this content because you know being the first to do it it's exclusive content, you know it's something different, you know so I don't know. Again,
you like the list?
I don't hate the list. Adding that extra tier, I agree. After looking at it now, and I'm making the lines right now, and it's gonna look a lot better. So I just saved it. You'll see what I mean.
Let's say this though. Just real quick. If you had to swap one person out from a tier to another tier, well, another person, who would it be and why?
Okay. Personally, okay. So for me, I feel like when it comes to that tier 2 group, I don't like. I mean, Sam Pham is a smart guy. No, I can't move Sam Pham. I don't know. I feel like it's tough. I mean, I feel like I feel bad putting Jonah in the bottom tier though. I feel like that's a weird that's not the group that Jonah should be with. I don't know.
Where is Jonah?
I put him. Yeah, he's at the bottom, and I mean. He had a really bad.
If he's not there, who do you swap him for?
I mean, honestly, Len. I mean, not that Len's bad, but technically we look at it. They had a bad year. They took a player that ended up being controversial, and now they traded. They got Jay Money and Feast in return, but I mean, he's made a couple good moves. But I feel like
Len's GM moves alone put him up there.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Like, I mean, that's probably what it is. But I mean, I feel like the Warriors gaming coach Mike. I get Mike is probably a smart guy, but from a perspective, he did have a very stacked roster. It's like Steve Kerr. Like Steve Kerr had Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. Like, is Steve Kerr a good coach? Yes. But, like, are we putting him in a conversation with a Popovich or like a...
Kev just said coach and GM are different. If that's the case, this whole list changes. The whole thing.
Coach Mike way too low. Well, I mean, Gradient, the only people that are saying they're way too low is you and freaking Gina. I appreciate it, Wes. I really do, man. Thank you for the sub, though.
Because I ain't gonna lie, some of these coaches, GMs, whatever you want to call them, some of them are good GMs, but ass coaches.
Yeah, I mean, dude. I mean, but the thing is, though, the thing is, the people who are coach/GM, they have a bigger. They have so much more control. Like, think about it. Having more control, you think about it. There's people who can't control their situation at all. Like, they don't draft their team. They get it. Like think about it. Like, all right, LT's the coach for Mavs Gaming, right? But he still has to work with Dimes. Like, and nothing against Dimes. It's just the truth. Like he still has to he can't just go off and pick this random person that he wants. He has to still go. He still has to talk to Dimes. You know what I mean? Like, then the same thing goes for a lot of these some of these GMs. Like, so for your coach, like, not that he does, like, he kind of just, he's a good coach, but he didn't get 100% saying who he picked as his players. He showed up and just coached. You know what I mean? Like, versus another coach who had complete control. Like, so for Coach Dewan, like, he didn't have as much power, and he made the most of it. You know what I mean? He has one playoff appearance, which is not bad. There's some coach. We look at some of the tier 3 guys; they have full control of the situation, and they're still worse off. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. Cody Parent, has had and I like Cody. I love Cody, but Cody has had full control, and he's a good coach.
Yeah.
But he's
besides season 1, I think. I'm pretty sure.
He's a good coach. But again, I just feel like Cody is just not I mean, you think about it, like, he's had so much more power versus some people, and he hasn't made the most of that situation. So I feel like in a way that's what hurts him the most. It could drop him even I personally would move Cody down because Cody's had the most power and he's made the least results out of it. I'm not saying I am. I like where Cody's at. Like, I like the spot that Cody's at. But I'm just saying,
that's what I told you earlier. As a coach, you could put him tier 1 or S tier or whatever. Like, he's a great coach. Why? He's a great coach. GM, he made some questionable decisions.
Exactly. But I'm saying though, like, think about it. As a coach and a GM, like, you have control of who you're going to coach. You know what I mean? Like, he picked who he's going to coach. Like, there's some coaches here who didn't get to pick who they coached. They just coached whoever got, presented to them. Like, at first, like, when Rico in season 1, like Rico didn't become he wasn't, like, I don't know if he 100% drafted that team because I think they listened, like, to Fav a little. But again, like, Rico didn't get hired immediately to be the coach for Celtics Crossover Gaming. It was a couple weeks in that he got hired to be the coach. So, like, he came into the situation. Like, obviously, I think that he probably, like, made suggestions, but I don't think that, like... Yeah, that's fine. But again, but it's not a coach plus GM pyramid. That's true. But I think that this list is fine. I think that this list is exactly what it's supposed to be. I mean, can you move some people around? Yes, but again, I think this list is fine. I'm just gonna make some adjustments real quick to it, like just edit it better so I can put it on social media. But again, I think that this list is perfectly. I think it's good. I don't hate the list. I'm sure on social media someone's gonna at the list and be like, wow, I can't believe this. But again, it's just a list and it doesn't mean anything. since I'm late, though, can you review? Yeah, I can review real quick for you, Kev. Hit me with that sub. No, I'm trolling you. I'm trolling you. You don't have to do that. Again, yeah. If Jonah's tier 3, so is Duan, Cody, respectfully. Yeah. My thing is, like, I feel like the amount of people I have at tier 3 is the proper amount that I should have. Coach Mike, problem is I don't know enough about Coach Mike. I really don't. But like, all right, Jonah, we look at every single person in the tier 3 category. Tier 4 category. Chris never made playoffs, and that's he only had one chance, right? He only had one season. He walked into a situation. Wes never made playoffs. He's had 2 years. Lane Whitaker, always a middle of the run team, never made playoffs. Same thing with Jonah. Jonah and Lane Whitaker are in the same boat. They both were middle of the run teams that just never made playoffs. Like literally, wherever Lane Whitaker goes, I keep saying DaddyJonah. Jonah and Lane Whitaker should be in the same place because technically their resumes line up. The only difference is maybe some people might prefer Jonah as their coach, which in essence that's not really how you should measure a coach 100%. Yes, it matters, but like in my opinion, like when we look at the full picture of the resume and everything, like Jonah and Whitaker both kind of have the same resume. And the thing is, like, I feel like, Jonah, I mean, obviously Jonah's situation in Dallas, wasn't all on him. I remember Jonah saying that, like, he didn't have full say. He wanted to pick Fab, you know what I mean? Like, that's obviously not on him, but at the same time, like, it's still on his resume. And then when he goes to the Magic, you have the situation with, just two, shortcomings. And, obviously season 3 Magic was a tough trial, but you have to, like it's unfortunate, like unfortunate events happen, but you still have to use it. You can't just we can't keep giving cop-outs. Like, that's my thing, though. Like, yes, COVID is terrible, yes, okay? But you can't, you can only give so much space in COVID. Everyone dealt with COVID. You know what I mean? Like, obviously everyone had different experiences. But, again, it's just a tier list. It's just a list. It doesn't matter. But, did too. What do you mean? Wait, what are you referring to, Kev? Do one, did two. I don't know what you're referring to. So Cody touched offs. Yeah. So, okay. All right. So none of these people in tier 4 have touched playoffs except for, the Blazers coach. But again, he came into a coaching situation to where he had a team that was number 1 for 2 straight years and then changed to an 8-8 team. Had 2 MVPs and the team completely debacled and fell apart.
Right.
So I feel like that, again, like I said, whoa, Frank, whoa. Yo, shout out to Frank with the 5 gifted, bro. Appreciate it, man.
Frank.
Wow.
So you gonna drop your nuts on gifted subs, but not who you want it? Never mind.
Mike tier 2. Yo, I keep hearing this, Slaughter. I mean, I know you're on the. I know he was your coach, but dude, I don't know, man. I have to hear from it's hard because you have to be in the locker room to really judge a coach. But at the same time, the only way I can truly judge the coach from an outside perspective is based off of success. And I've been to the studio, so I've been to the studio and I've heard how some coaches communicate. So a coach like Cody, I've heard how Cody's communicated to his players. I've heard Coach Dewan. Is it Dewan? Am I saying it right? I always say his.
You're saying it right. You're saying it right.
Yeah, Coach Dewan, I've seen him communicate with players. I know how he communicates. Kurt, I haven't really heard much vocalization from Kurt, but I also, like I said, I don't, he could be more of an inside locker room guy. You know what I mean? And Jonah's constantly talking to his players. You know what I mean? It's not like it's bad talk either. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, these guys are coaches in the league for a reason, but, there has to be things that separate them. You know what I mean? Again, I said this while you were gone, Ramo. Lane Whitaker and Jonah should be wherever Whitaker goes, Jonah should go because technically their resumes are the same.
No, come on now.
No. I'm saying all right. Yes, Jonah is probably a more knowledgeable person
at
2K,
you can't just do everything off a resume though.
I know, but I'm just saying, but how
we know Jonah's not really supposed to be down there. We know that, but the resume's otherwise. That's the only reason he's down there.
So. what's your thought? Like, so who? I have to move one person down. I don't know if I could. Like, can I? I don't know if I want to add. Like, I feel like the way it looks is how it's supposed to look. Because the thing is, like, all right, I moved Jonah up, like, and I put him in a group with Wes, Coach Dwan, OG Concur, obviously, I'm hearing a lot of things about Mike. I don't know about Coach Mike. Personally, I'd move him down because I just don't know, but I'm constantly getting in my ear that he's a good coach, so I don't.
If you would have to move anyone down, it'd probably have to be Mike or Len. That's only because you can't put Mike because obviously he had a great year, but then again, the Warriors had a great year before that too, so what is it really saying, you know what I mean? But another thing, what I'm basically trying to say is, like, they've been in the league only 1 year, and we know Jonah's a great coach.
Yeah, Jonah, no,
over
like,
either one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the best person to move is Coach Mike and move Mike down because Mike came into, again, I said this about Steve Kerr. Mike came into a situation where he had Keena and Gradient, who already had prior success, plus be smooth, and then they got like. Yes,
I hear you, but another thing too. Yes, you're right, 100% right. But we're also hearing stuff about this Mike guy. I don't know him personally. I don't know his methods of coaching, or I don't know what he does. You know what I'm saying? But what I do hear is nothing but good things about him, and I hear he can coach a professional NBA team. As an assistant coach or G League team, that's just impressive to me. That's bigger than 2K League.
Yeah, that's a good point. So my thing about it, though, I mean, I could put. I mean, let me see how it looks with. Oh my God, I don't know. I don't hate to put Jonah in this group of guys like with like the tier 3 group that I have. I don't hate it because I just feel weird putting Jonah in that tier that final tier. It doesn't feel right. It really doesn't. But again, I don't know. Let me see how it looks like with like all those coaches together. Actually, it looks a little better. I just saved it. You'll see it up there on your screen. I don't mind.
I'm looking at it through the Twitch chat.
Yeah, I actually, it doesn't look bad actually. Now that I moved Jonah up and just have the 5 on the bottom.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That doesn't look bad actually. That's fair. But then again,
in the case, I would say you move one of these coaches up, and I say out of all these coaches, you probably want to move Wes up.
That's fair. Because he's a great, yeah, that's a good point. It's Wes because Wes is first of all, Wes has been like we talked about this with Harris, and Harris even agreed. Like, think about it, out of all the coaches, Wes drops his nuts when it comes to making moves, and he's not afraid.
Wes is a culture chamber.
Yeah, and he's not afraid to speak. The fact that his star player, he was having problems, and he wasn't afraid to put his foot down. That's respect. I don't care, dude. No matter what coach you are, like, the fact that like he didn't just
he's gonna get the best out of his players.
Yeah, no, like I got to give credit to Wes. Wes didn't sit down for anything. So I actually like this a lot more now.
And it's actually crazy too, because like you would think like most of the good coaching shit, they're good at 2K, but Wes is actually ass at 2K. You know what I'm saying? He's a good coach.
Yeah, like but my thing is Kev.
Did I say ass? My fault, my dog.
Yeah, no, but Kev, my thing is like. He had a player that basically wanted to have it his way, and he said no, and they still were successful. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. They still made playoffs. They still, had a good season. I mean, they weren't playing bad with that. Like, they weren't playing terrible without him. Obviously, could they have been a better team with him? Yes. Do I like the current team they have? Not really, but they still have draft picks to completely change my mind. But again, I don't know what's going to happen in season 4. There's a lot of teams I don't think some people expected to be that as good as they were. I mean, people thought the Hornets weren't some people probably thought the Hornets weren't going to be that good. Like people thought they were going to be good, but the thing is the Hornets being a playoff team compared to some of the squads, like people thought like Heat Check Gaming was like an automatic playoff team. You know what I mean? Like maybe some people didn't think that, but I'm just saying like there were some teams before the season like that shocked, like the Blazers being bad. No one could. I guarantee that not a single person could have told you the Blazers were going to be bad like that. So, like my point is like, if Wes has another good season, he's an argument. He might be near the top of the tier 2 group. You know what I mean? Think about it. If West has another good season, he moves up a lot, tremendously.
I mean, they made some great moves in mine. What they got? They got Stern Pete, Alex,
yeah,
2 first-round picks.
yeah. They got again, their asset management has been crazy, and like I said, I know that everyone says that's a GM versus a coach, but at the same time, like I feel like the fact that that can be a part, like that can exist in the conversation with like a coach, like that is a coach's. In some organizations, like some organizations have a GM, but they have the coach make the decisions on what players, and like what trades happen. So like. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that, the fact that West has that power and he's made something special out of it. He's exceeded so he's taken his powers and he's basically excelled them. You know what I mean? Like some people don't use any trades at all. Like I'm not saying you have to, but I'm saying there's some teams that have been bad for years and they don't take as many risks as a guy like West, who's like literally, I just think that like you look at the guys below West. A lot, like I think one guy that's really taken a bigger risk this year is Kurt. You know what I mean? Kurt made a lot of big moves, and it looks like on paper he looks very good right now. You know what I mean? Like that. I respect the aggressive.
Ank.
Yeah. We can't forget about Ank. Obviously, Ank is definitely a factor in that too. Definitely a guy that's probably going to end up being a GM or something of another team at one point, or head coach, whatever role they would give him. But again, like I said, I like this. I really, really like it now. Like putting the the group, like that arrangement of moving West up and putting Jonah at 3, that looks better.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a hell of a lot better than it was before. Because again, I think that our tier 1s, the tier 1 group is perfect. Like the only person, like again, the only person not even in question in tier 1 is it's not like LT's a great coach, but like I can't. No, I'm wrong about that. I'm wrong. LT's like LT overall resume and coaching and everything has been better. I don't know. Like I said, I like this right now. I like the setup. I think that it's perfect. I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
Since he's been the head coach of the Mavs, he made playoffs twice, and plus LT got the energy. He brings that energy.
Yeah. Again, everyone. Who do you think is the best in tier 2 though? Out of that tier 2 group that I have right there.
Best in tier 2.
Isn't that hard? Isn't that hard? Yeah, that's really hard actually. Because like, all right, so think about it. Rico.
It's just hard because I don't know every coach and how they run their org personally. I just don't know.
Yeah, so no. If we switched, if we put Rustin instead of Mike, and honestly, I feel like we should just put Rustin on here instead because he's been the long-term guy in my opinion. I don't think I should put Mike on here.
From what I know and what I heard, like from what I would know, like I don't really know. Like I said, I don't know what they do with their orgs, but from what I know, I'll probably say Sanfan.
Wait, did any tier 4 coach? Wait, I got to read this right. Did any tier 4 coach knock out any other coaches from tier 3 from playoff contention in any season? So that would probably be. So that's a good question. I don't know off the top of my head. I know that you're probably referring to who knocked the Magic out of playoffs. Didn't Kurt knock out the Magic? I'm pretty sure Kurt in season 2, because they or whatever, they were near the end of the year, and I think that they were all neck and neck, and I think that the Nets ended up.
Kurt made playoffs.
Yeah, I know. No, I know Kurt made playoffs. So but I was answering Frank's question. He was asking in tier 3, which one of those coaches knocked out another coach out of playoffs. And I think that it's probably Kurt that knocked out Jonah, right? Am I right about that, Frank? I think that's it. Like I think that happened because again, every time the Magic have missed playoffs, it's literally been by one game. Like it's literally been like by like a game or two, and that's the thing. Again, I think that this is a good group. I think tier 4 is the right thing. My only thing is like, okay, I look at a guy like the Blazers coach, right? He comes into a good situation, it doesn't pan out. And then we look at Coach Mike, he comes into a good situation, and it's fine. It doesn't change, you know what I mean? Like, what was the difference? Was it just the internet issues?
No, nobody. To be honest with you, nobody came into a good situation. Everybody's situation was.
Yeah. I just feel like, I don't know, having Coach Mike on here is so hard. I think that's the only thing that kind of makes this list kind of tough, just because of I'm sure he's a good coach. You know what I mean? I don't know anything about the guy, and who knows? Maybe he might not even be an NBA 2K League coach. Oh, you're just asking, Frank? We knocked out T-Wolves this year. Put me above JB. JB. Who's JB? Wait, JB.
Talking about the T-Wolves.
Oh, the T-Wolves?
Okay.
I don't even know. I don't know if I have a picture of the T-Wolves coach. I don't know. Yeah, like I said, Nick Gartrell is the face of T-Wolves gaming now.
Why isn't the T-Wolves here, though?
I don't know who.
Why isn't the T-Wolves here?
I don't know who
I just put
there.
Nick, but deep down inside, we know it's JB.
I guess I gotta find a picture.
Where would you put JB, though? You like that one? Yeah, that's a tricky one, right?
I
think I would put him in a solid, too.
I think he's a solid. Wait, but
arguably for 1, too.
Oh yeah.
Probably 1. Low-key, I might put him. at 1 over.
Okay, ESPN stated you and Lang are on the same tier, head to head for Mon. Lang beat you. I have a better record than anyone in tier 3 and 4 aside from Cody. You do? Okay, let me check. I have the analytics. You said you have a better record than them? Hang on. I want to check this one. Hang on. I have the stats on this one. Give me a second. Where is it?
Yeah, I try to put Jonah in the bottom tier.
No, I'm not going to put Jonah. I like where Jonah is. But he said that... Yeah, hang on. I have the internet. Hang on. Let me pull up the internet.
Bro, you needed more people in this little content piece right here.
Yeah, I mean,
needed more insight.
Yeah, the problem
is
I'm saying,
a lot of this is just knowing. Like,
yeah, and that's my thing. Like, from the outside looking in, like, this list doesn't look bad, but the thing is, like, I'm not in a lot of these locker rooms, and I would love, guys, if you want to defend yourself, I'll put the Discord link. If you guys want to come in here and discuss, like, I see obviously everyone, like, I see, Jonah right in the chat. Jonah, like, come in here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm more than happy to hear you out. And the thing is, it's not about controversial. It's just, it's a healthy debate. We're not sitting here, saying, at the end of the day, everyone's a good coach. We're having a healthy debate about coaches. It's something that's not talked about a lot. Like, think about it, this conversation. How many times have you ever heard this conversation? Like, never. This conversation, I feel like the conversation in the 2K League is everyone's on the same level at coaching. Like, I feel like you have a couple good coaches, but no one ever says, like, there's bottom tier coaches in the league. Like, I don't think anyone's ever said that. Like, I've never heard the term there's bad coaches. No, I'm trying to be moved up. I think wherever you guys decide is fair. Yeah, Jonah. But the thing is, Jonah, I want to hear the argument. It's not that I'm against it. You know what I mean? Like, convince me. You know what I mean? Like, Frank came in here. Frank put his 2 cents in, and he brought up good points. You know what I mean? Like. And then Ramo added on, like, we need another tier. And when we added that other tier, this looks a hell lot better. This looks a hell lot better. The fact that we just added 1 tier. You know what I mean? Like, we added an extra tier, and it changed the whole thing. It looks a lot better. Like, I'll be honest with you, when I was first making the list, I was like, man, this looks like crap. Like, it looked like crap. But, like, looking at this right now, I'm not mad at this. If like, this was my final list, I wouldn't be upset about it. Again, the order of, if I was to put the order of things, like... Coach Dewan, he was coach of the year. You can only weigh that so much, but at the same time, like, I'd put him in the top. Like, he's in that, the top. Kurt, obviously, he has the assistance of Ank, and him and Ank as a duo have really flipped around Nets gaming crew. Mike, a guy that, obviously his players are all vouching for him, saying he's good, but I'm also hearing outside, not even just his players, but I'm hearing outside word that he's a very good overall coach, not even just on the 2K end of things, but, we're not saying.
Yeah, let's clear this up in the chat because I see this.
Big
This is a
fine.
Yep.
This is a common theme as anybody has an opinion that is better than someone else's. I've seen DaddyJonah write that I've been hating on the TD guys for years. I want to ask you, Chet, because you follow my content very closely. Before I got my job and after I got my job, and Rainbow can speak to this too. Have you ever seen me hate on a player, coach, or staff in this 2K League spectrum? Ever?
No, my thing is, I think that you're like the problem is there's not many people that are honest, and you're honest. Like that's what's I think the problem is like, and the thing is like for me, I don't hate on people. I'm just honest with what I think about them.
Because if people have a tendency, when people have an opinion, they think it's hate. It's not hate.
Yeah.
You would have asked me, hey, where does Frank rank and community managers? I'm going to tell you, Ronnie's S tier. I'm probably tier 2, tier 3. I'll put LD above me for the time he was in it. It's just the reality of it. Like when you have to look who you are in the space and understand who you are. But my job, just so people, I always say this, but people hear it again. I'll say it again for the room. My job does not allow me to hate on any player, any coach, or any staff member that's part of a franchise or in my office. It just doesn't allow me to. I can't do my job effectively if I'm hating. That's just the reality of it.
Again, but the thing is, like, your job doesn't mean you can't have an opinion. The problem is, like, I feel
I'm not a hater. I don't even know where he got this. I hate on TD. That's just weird.
But Frank, again, like most of the people I hit up for this content, like I said, and Ramos said this, if we had more different people to give different insights, it could definitely change this entire list. But again, like everyone is too scared to give opinions, and it's not it's not always about being controversial. It's like constructive. Like that's my thing. Like it's not about like this is. I don't think anything that we've done so far has been like a controversial thing.
You have it absolutely correct. You said it. If wherever Lane goes, Jonah goes. I get it. You guys, players love Jonah. He's a player's coach. I understand that, but we have to also factor in their regular season record, their tournament record, and playoff record. And if you only thing that Jonah, to his point, he said that, and we're going to check the analytics on his regular season record on every tier 3 and tier 4.
Jonah made some money.
Yeah, I'm not disputing that. But what I'm saying to you is, when it comes to the playoffs, both him and Lang did the same thing. And the day that when they went head to head,
okay.
Lang knocked him out, right? Essentially, right?
Hang on. I'm literally going to line up the records.
Because they traded the player that they traded.
It's just so tough. Tough.
Was the problem, came back and beat them, which is Kel Mav, for the playoff. So when they need
I'm going to line up the analytics right now for you to see.
It's just so tough when you put it that way, Frank. But because it's not necessarily. I mean, it is. It is Jonah versus Lang, but it's not really. It's plays or plays. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying, if you got wherever you put Jonah, you have to put Lang. That's just fair.
So, I'm going to calculate it right now and show you. Like,
I disagree. I gotta disagree with that one, Frank. Like we know, it's just hard. It's hard to judge this, bro. Like I said, like we don't know these coaches.
One of us.
Outside looking in. Like, yeah, you can call it that way, but like,
I love him. He's a great player's coach. But if you're going by the numbers, him and Lang have similar numbers.
But how do you know he's just a great player's coach? How do you know that?
This is what you guys say. You just said that. I didn't say that. I don't know. I'm going by what the community said.
So how do we know what Lang is?
Based off of his players.
Numbers.
It'd be based on the only way we would know is based off of his players. So the thing is, that's why you can't really use that as a factor. You can't really say someone's a great players coach because that's based off the players, and that can create a bias. So like you with Coach Dewan, like you said, Coach Dewan should be a higher tier. But the thing is, you're going to have a personal bias because he was your own coach at one point. The only way in reality, the only reality is we can only weigh people based off of accolades and success. And it's not like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like everything is on them. At the end of the day, the players have to go out there and play 2K. They don't play 2K for the players, but the point is like, okay, so all time Grizz Gaming is 22 and 24. Let me find out. So I'm about to tell you Jonah's all time record in a second.
Yo, champ, you hear me?
Yep, I hear you. What's up?
I just want to hop in real quick because I certainly am not going to dispute. Yeah, what's up, Ramo? I'm not in here to dispute your guys' list.
You better go crazy.
Whatever y'all think for the list is fine. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, can we talk about, though, look at the players I've drafted? Like, can we talk about that season 1? I draft Seam, Dave Fry, Dons. They trade Dave Fry, get reloaded, and get a great roster, which I didn't draft that team. But still, those are great players that are going to be in the league forever. Harry was another one, which technically wasn't my guy, but we developed Harry. Harry was not an elite player when he came there. There's a reason. Dave Fry improved so much during that season. There's a reason.
So yeah,
you know, Frank, this does go deeper than just this stream, and I know Slimo J's been asking in the chat. It does go deeper than it, and I know you know what I'm talking about. I remember 2/3 of the way through the season said that Reed was not a top 5 Rookie of the Year candidate the year he won Rookie of the Year because King Cam royalty is the reason that he's good. Is what you said.
That's not hate, though. That's an opinion. That's not hate. I think
it's wrong. It's simply wrong.
You feel that way. I mean, that's not a problem. It's an opinion. Opinions can be right. They can be wrong. It doesn't matter. It's still an opinion. I don't hate because I've heard this speculation a bunch of times about like Reed, and I don't hate Reed. I think Reed's a tremendous player. I just at the time, I've been very clear. It was you put Reed in MVP list. It pigeonholed the Rookie of the Year. That's all I ever said. And when you go back now, Jonah, and you ask anybody right now, well, who would they pick for season 2 Rookie of the Year? They would tell you it wouldn't be Reed.
I think you're wrong. Actually, talking to other team managers and talking about actual value these players hold, I don't think there's a single person in the league that would take a player in that draft over Reed. Very few would take them over Reed, in my opinion. And that's not even the point anyway, Frank. That's not the point.
If we look back at it, and Champ knows we've had the conversation on BMW Live a few times about that. If you look back on it, you would take BP or Bear. They had a better overall season.
And I just disagree.
We gave it to Reed because on a 4-game stretch in the middle of the season, he did very well. And no disrespect, that's great. But if we're talking about streaks, Bear had a longer streak that led him to the playoffs. If we're talking about the best overall rookie, that would be BP. He took a team that didn't make the playoffs and made them a 10-win team. So, that's
Bear is a great player. Bear is a great player. What he brings to the court is half of the player he is, right? He is such a great leader and all these things, right? I think Mihad was the more talented player on that roster. That you can't say that for Reed. How can the guy be Rookie of the Year? He's not the best player on his team. In my opinion,
Mihad don't get talked about enough, to be honest.
Bear is an incredible leader, and there's a reason that team won a championship. But I don't think you're looking at it holistically. But I don't know. Regardless, Champ, I know we're talking about that stuff. We were. I want to say we were 7th or 8th in wins season 1 with the Mavs. I know that we didn't make it. But
I did the analytics. You guys are exactly tied in records all time.
I mean, there's just no way. We were 5th in the league in wins in season 2 in tournaments. Do you understand? We made 2 semis. We made it out of groups.
I just calculated regular season. I'll see the.
Yeah, we made it out of group season 1. We made the semis in season 2 twice, and made it out of group season 2.
But even now, right? I think the tip off you're talking about, right? And that was kind of funny because y'all did that. You and Rudy kind of did that thing with the point system, trying to figure. So that was like weird. Like I'm not saying I don't take it away from you. You won it, but it was like it was still kind of considered weird.
Yeah, I don't have the tournament stats season by season because I got these from Josiah. But all-time Magic Gaming is 11-14 in tournaments, and Grizz Gaming is 7-18. So yes, you guys have.
I'm pretty sure, Champ. I'm pretty sure when I came to Orlando, they had 1 tournament win.
Yeah. So again, like when it comes to like the bigger games, like you guys, you have that gap. You do have that gap.
Now, if you want to say yes, I agree. If you're talking about the edge for you in the lane case is your tournament success. Yeah. I agree. That I can agree.
And Frank, real quick again, like I know you came in here and I actually, I don't know what people think. I think Derek is a great coach, but you came in here and your argument for Derek and Kyle was comedy because we're not going to talk about the fact that Derek made probably the worst trades in the league's history so far with the one trade with J Money, probably the worst trade in league history. Led to a team winning the championship. We're not going to even bring that up. I mean, that has to be a factor, right? He's a GM of the team.
Well, Jonah, I brought up the fact that there's certain coaches in the league that have more power versus other coaches. So when it comes to certain situations, like some coaches like had complete control of everything that's ever happened with their organization in existence. Meanwhile, some coaches came into situations. Right?
Derek has complete control. Kyle has complete control.
I know. That's my point. That's what I'm saying. So that's what.
To Jonah's point, he's right. my argument for Fame was the argument that they made for Kyle. Now, they didn't go as deep as you just did, Jonah, but if I based it on for what they said, if you're going to put Kyle Rudy up there because he had a championship run, we got to remember that in that same season, he had a losing record where Fame had a positive regular season record. So that's all I was saying. Like, if we're going to base it on what they said, then they're even. But to your point, you're right. That is where you can put him above Fame. If you talk about trading and all that, yes, that's correct. But the Knicks made some bad draft picks. We saw that this year. So we could take the bad draft picks and the bad trade and make that even, and they still are in the same tier. Correct?
Is it the Rob pick that you think was bad, or was it Duckett too that was bad?
I think it was a Duck pick. That's my opinion.
I'm just curious. I would say that there was probably not a coach in the league that wouldn't have taken Rob at that spot, just personally. I mean, I know that people value the draft differently, but
and they did not make the playoffs. So that somewhere along the line it's either Cal didn't coach right or they didn't have a good draft. I would like to take the latter and say the draft was they didn't have a great draft.
Or Frank, maybe they were half a game out of the playoffs and their last game was at Sacramento and they were playing on West Coast. Do you think that might be a factor too? Like, you
can't control that. You only can play what's in front of you.
We were lucky we got the Kings on our East, right? It's not in our control, but I mean it's still a disadvantage. Some teams got the shaft last year, like Raymond will tell you, some did.
Yeah. That part is not part of the process. You only control what you can control in that respect.
But that's what you're basing it. You're basing it off records, though. You're basing this off records. Is this list is a basically like who's won the most games?
It's just tough to bring up that argument too because you don't want to take nothing away from like these teams and stuff. That's why.
The Wizards deserve to win, right? Like, don't get me wrong. This what happened in season 3. There's no excuses. Like, we were bad. It is what it is. And y'all can rank me wherever you want. I'm not going to sit here and argue with all. I don't care where I get ranked at all. I do care that I see Frank constantly being the one trying to knock me down on every list. I do care about that. So,
I've never even. This is the first I've ever said words about you, Joe. I don't speak about you. Honest to God, truth. Like, I don't know where you're getting that from. Like, I really don't have a bad word for you, Jonah. I think you're a great coach. But if you're asking me if they're doing a tier list, where do you fall? You and Lang are tied, in my opinion. But you made a great point. You have tournament success where he doesn't. So that does put you a notch above him. So I will give you that. But I'm just saying, if you base it off regular season and playoffs, it's even. Now, where you succeed at is tournament success. So that does put your overall record above a lot of these coaches. So respectfully, you got it. But I don't ever think that I hate you. I love everybody equally. I'm not allowed to hate anyone in my roles. It's just it doesn't help the league and it doesn't help franchises. So I would never hate on anybody. It's just not smart business for us. We're all trying to grow this together.
Jonah, can you do me a favor? Who did you draft season 2? I can't remember. Like the whole roster.
I can tell you the whole roster.
Reed, DT, Kelmav, and Tucker Larksup.
Yeah. That's actually crazy that you did that.
And
Ramo, Reed, knowing your point guard, and you developed a sharp and field.
So.
Ramo, let me tell you this too. You know how many players had to declined because they didn't want to play with the guys we had rostered? Do you know how many guys declined? Like half the league declined to come to Orlando. That's big. And what do you think? What do you think?
You had UC Manning and Cam, right?
And they were wrong. Yeah, first of all, they were wrong about those guys. The league players were wrong about them.
No,
a lot of guys declined.
They went from their
season. Outside looking in, that's how it is.
Yeah.
And do you think people decline to come here now? Like, no, they don't. I mean, that's the reality. There's a reason for that, and that doesn't go into this list, and it probably shouldn't. To be fair,
give you credit. You are a great players coach. People want to play for you. I'm just saying, if you're basing it on success, regular season and playoffs, you and Lang are equal. It doesn't change that you're not a great players coach. You still are a great players coach.
But if it was based on that, would Jeff really be S tier? Like be honest with me. Like, does he have the best record?
I don't think Jeff is S tier, but that's not for me to decide. They decided that. I don't think
Jeff though is third all time.
And if this is based on only coaching, like I know Ramos said it earlier, but I'm telling you, and you can ask any of the Team USA guys, Frank. I know you were involved with that process a little bit. Like, Cody Parent is as good a coach as any coach in this league. He is a quality coach. He brings so many extra things to the table that no one even speaks about.
Yeah,
I know Raymond knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, we talked about it, though. We spoke about that.
Correlate to success on the floor, right?
Yeah, that's why we
fair,
pushed him down.
Point, if you're a great coach, like everybody says Jonah's a great coach. So the bottom line should be, if he's a great coach off the court, it should correlate to on the court success, right? At some point. And with Cody and you, to be fair, for Cody only happened one season. That's because he made a trade for Ramo, who until that point, if you have Ramo on any team in the world, you go into the playoffs outside of last season. And you haven't had the success. So you guys can be great. It still has to correlate. So the thing, that's all I'm saying. Like when and I'll give you a great example, right? When Comp was bad, everybody said he was bad, right? He got better on the court and they went 14-2. It just has to correlate. That's all I'm saying. I have no problem with saying you guys are great off the court. What you guys do is unique. Because I've seen it. I've seen a lot what Cody does. He's amazing. I've seen a lot of what you do, Jonah. It's amazing. But at some point, we do have to count the on-court success. And right now, you and Cody haven't had that. Cody's had it 1 year. You haven't had it yet. And it's a fair assessment. Do I think this season will be your year? Probably. I think you're definitely gonna break through that barrier and make the playoffs. I'm waiting. I'll be cheering for Magic Gaming, no doubt.
So, at the end of the day, though, this is a different type of content. I don't think anyone's ever done like a tier list for coaches. So, like, I mean, we look at players and how players can be so, I don't want this content to be any way controversial at all. Like Jonah, you're a good coach. Like, that's not like, I've been to the studio. I've listened to your communication, how you talk to your players. And I do agree. A lot of this is based off of like records, like so-and-so, was successful. Like, we also have to realize there's a lot of recency bias in this too. Like, we're coming fresh off of a coach of the year from Comp. Comp could go next year and go 3-13, and then we completely could look at him differently, right? Like, and the same thing goes for a lot of these coaches. So much can change. So it's tough, man. I think personally, like, I would put you in that range of 2 or 3. Like, that's my thought process through it all.
Champ, I totally get what you're saying, and I agree with you. I just want to make sure to clarify again. Like, I did not come in here to try to raise up my. I don't care about that at all. And like, I appreciate y'all for the content and everything. But last thing I'll say before I head off, there are a lot of coaches in this league that deflect blame. And I'm not calling anybody out because a lot of folks do this in general in the 2K community. It's very prevalent. A lot of them deflect blame. They want the credit, and these are coaches doing this. You'll never see that from me or most of the folks in my circle, just because of the reason that we just don't believe in that. I'm a player's coach for a reason. I want guys that understand that I'm going to take the blame and the heat when it's on, and you guys get the credit when we win games, because that's exactly what coaching is. So I'm going to just say that. I appreciate the content. I'll see y'all later.
All right, see you. But anyway, either way, tier list, it's all for fun. I think that seeing this, for the first time, it's interesting, and I think it's going to change a lot. There's many factors that can go into a tier list for coaching. Again, it's all about situation. Some people have misfortunes, but at the same time, we have to have answers to certain things too. So again, back on the point with the Cody Parent, the Cody Parent, where I put where we placed him. Cody, yes, Cody's a good on the court coach, but again, he's had full control of his entire situation, and it has not, foreseen to be, good results on the court. So I think, you have to have a balance of that. So again, same thing, same thing with Jonah. Jonah's a good on the court coach, but again, his results of his record and never making playoffs is what can, in my opinion, I think is like what balances out the scale, and why. I agree that he's not at the bottom. He's not at the bottom, but he's definitely I think he's in the right spot. Overall, I think this list is very good, and I think that it's right. I mean, and again, it's just a list. But again, I appreciate everyone in here. Ramo, you still here? All right, no, Ramo's not here. But anyway, guys, again, so even with recency bias, Mike is tier 3. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, that's a very good point. My thing about Mike, I personally, this is my thought process. I don't think Mike should be on the list. It's nothing against Mike. I think if I was going to put anybody, I'd probably put Rustin. Rustin, I feel like he was the coach and he controlled the pieces, right? Like, he's the reason why that team came together. You think about in season 2 draft, I'm sure Rustin had full control in that situation. He takes Grady, and then they played the cards right and got, they got Keena. You know what I mean? So, and again, it's hard to judge a coach off of one season. That's why it's like hard with West. You know what I mean? Like we see 1 year by West and its success, you know, and we're so quick to weigh it high. So it's like it's tough. I mean, again, you know, I think that, you know, when you look at this, oh crap, you guys can't even see the screen because I have the analytics up. But again, this list right here. I am not upset about this list. I think this is fair. If I was to put the order of things, I would probably, you know, again, I think we have these coaches correct up here in tier 1. Tier 2, I think, in my opinion, and you guys don't have to agree with me, I mean, I don't know. Every coach has their strengths, you know what I mean? Like, think about it. Like, Rika, you know, his team, you know, I think he's a good, like, I think overall when he probably communicates with his players, he's a very good vocal coach. AirPods died. Well, yeah, he's a GM, whatever. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, though. All right, so, like, a guy like Famous, like, all his mistakes should be more, like, I'm not, like I said, you know, me and Famous, we had our past, whatever. But again, like, I'm saying this as, like, Famous has more power versus certain people in this group. Like, overall, like, you know, he's had more power compared to some coaches. So, like, his successes and his failures are more glorified versus a guy who has less power. Because the thing is, like, he has full control of the situation versus some people who might not have 100% control. So that's why Cody Parent, again, Cody, good on the court coach, but he has all the power, and his failures have come by based off of his selections. So that's why, you know, a coach / GM, you know, it's kind of a different balance. It's a different system. So again, I think that it's weighed differently. Jonah, he went from Mavs gaming, you know, he didn't have 100% control of that draft. Like, yeah, like he again, I remember Jonah saying that he wanted to draft Fab, and they drafted Dimes, and the way that the draft went the way it did. But again, you know, Jonah leaves, goes to Magic Gaming, comes into a situation where he has a UC Manny and I can't remember the other player off the top of my head. Sorry, I want to pull it up real quick. You know, he has UC Manny, and again, UC Manny and them, they come off a 500 season. You know what I mean? Like, they're not bad players at all. Like, you have UC Manny and King Cam Royalty. You know, King Cam, not a bad center. You know, statistically, he's very good. Obviously, that, you know, stats don't always tell the story. You know, he did have his struggles against, you know, comp centers. Bringing in Reed. Reed's a good pick. Personally, is Reed the better guard? I mean, that's more opinionated, but in my opinion, I do like, you know, BP. Obviously, he couldn't take Keenan because he declined the interview. Bear had a better personality at the time, and, you know, again, you bring in DT. DT, in my opinion, is one of the best defensive, like, you know, he's been one of the better defensive players, and that's probably why they're trying to throw him on lock. I've seen him defensively; he's very good. Then you bring in Kel Mav, you know, who's developed into one of the better sharpshooters in the league, you know. But again, you know, it's, you know, King Cam. Yeah, thank you, Frank. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't think he came into a bad situation. I mean, again, you know, it was a 500 season. It's a middle of the run year. You know, it's not bad. You know what I mean? Like, again, though, you know, building off of that, you know, you go into the, you know, season 3 is tough because of COVID, but everyone had the, you know, their issues, whatever. It is what it is. But again, you know, that's not the sole focus of this entire thing. Again, I think, you know, this list can be altered in so many ways in a short period of time. I mean, obviously, you guys see here, I have all-time winnings. Yes, my analytics are freaking disgusting on money. Yeah, like, you look at it like Magic Gaming, you know, Magic Gaming all time, you know, they're down. They're really low on the list. My list got cut off, but there's supposed to be different teams right here. But again, you know, Grizz Gaming, it's technically, you know, like, not that, and I don't think, you know, I over-exaggerated the LT thing a little. I mean, the Lane Whitaker thing, but they're not far away from each other in a way. In essence, they're not far analytically. Like, I mean, we don't have to go 100% off analytics, but I'm just saying, like, you know, in reality, like, it's closer than you think. So, but again, guys, I really do appreciate everyone. I appreciate all the subs. I have a new piece of content coming out soon. It's actually called the ESGN Redraft. So what we're doing is we're going to take a concept of taking every single player that's ever been in the 2K League and redrafting them. The draft order hasn't been determined how we'll do it, but I'm going to assign GMs, and we're going to redraft the entire 2K League. Every player that's ever been in the 2K League will be in the draft pool, and we're going to redraft the entire 2K League. It's a concept that I wanted to do, idea that I've been recommended. You know. Yeah, if you know, Ramo. But again, I'm working on that concept next for content. I think that's a great thing. I have many other, things lined up for content that I'm working on. Obviously, you guys see this setup. We're going to have a 2K Crossfire episode in a couple days. Let me move myself real quick so you guys can see the topics that are going to be for 2K Crossfire. Again, 2K Crossfire is going to be coming up this week. We're going to have some topics. Obviously, people talking about he deserves a spot. Basically, that topic is going to be about talking about GMs and players saying people deserve spots and then not drafting them. We're going to talk about some of these pro-am wagers, some of them getting a little controversial. Community tournaments. My concept of the NBA2K League hosting a tournament basically open to the community to where it gives the amateur level a chance to compete against the pros. Then is Pro-Am becoming the new stage? Basically, the concept of stage players transitioning over to Pro-Am due to the lack of the game mode. So could we see a movement? Possibly, maybe. And then by the numbers we'll be doing. But that will all be next week. I appreciate everyone in here. I'm going to host somebody real quick, so just give me a second, guys. I appreciate all you guys so much. If someone suggests someone for me to host, I'll be more than happy to host them. Let me find someone worth hosting. Oh, hang on. I found somebody. All right, sorry, guys. Again, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys, I'm about to host TacTuck. Make sure you guys, raid him with the ESGN logos, all that good stuff. And I appreciate all you guys, and I hope all you guys enjoyed the content, man. Champ 2K out!
Aficionado.
I'm a fashionista.
Sneakerhead. Metalhead.
Gearhead.